us here, Marker Madman. And today, we are here for an unbelievable, unforgettable podcast. Podcast 11. Yes, you would never guessed it, 11. I am here with Noodle C-Money for live and the one and only Purple Berry Craft.
And also of all the women who are voiced in Amiibo land.
That are not British.
That are not British.
I might.
Oh yeah.
I might.
Amiibo videos and Mario plush videos.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Let's get it.
This is I heard the gang's back.
Yes.
The whole gang is
The
here.
gang
Every
was
one
not
of us.
here last week, but now the gang's here. So now we're back in effect.
And ready to go.
Exciting times.
Very exciting because, drum roll please. Did that sound like a, how am I doing, guys?
No. It sounds exactly
Just
like
I didn't even have to say drum roll because
people are going to let's stop talking for a second because companies are going to sound take
turn
that
up the
sound
phone. Let's turn up
and they're
the
going to
volume.
use that in movies.
Oh, for sure.
Like that's how good
For
the
sure.
drum roll was.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
like drum roll please is going to be you
Is
now
that
for the future everywhere that you hear it.
Is that cute? Now I hear a drum roll and I'm like,
We have to copyright this actually now. Well, technically this podcast is like a copyright.
so
We
much
came up with
talent. I don't know where to stop. I
think it'll
don't know where to stop.
Alright.
Yeah, that's fun
So,
times.
I think we're about to get started. Are we?
Oh yes.
I think so.
So I think the big boy topic that everyone's been thinking about is the recent drop of the Super Mario Brothers movie. 7 years in the making.
The movie's
we
out?
finally got a glimpse of the trailer. The teaser trailer.
The trailer. Okay, I
And there's a
thought
lot of
I missed
emotion.
it. I thought I missed
There's a
it.
lot of cuts of
That was the
emotion
whole
in
movie.
trailer.
Yeah.
Very funny. But there's a lot to take from it. The good, the bad, and the Chris Pratt.
Yes.
That's
Bad.
oh man, that's cold.
What do you guys think about it?
Oh god.
Man, go ahead.
Just the first thing that was cool is that once like the video became available, like you can kind of go in and wait for it, and turned it on, and it started 5 people, 20 people, 50 people.
5? Really? You got the first 5?
Yeah, I was right in the very beginning.
Right in the
as soon as it
beginning.
happened, I clicked.
Yeah.
Whoop. So I was there, 5 people, and then it just kept
Hey,
going.
other 4?
Dude, it went all the way up. Like I was like, how high is this gonna go? When it got to like 25,000, I was like, damn, that's a lot of people watching this. It just kept going. It topped out at almost 400,000 people
Holy
watching it live. That's crazy.
I know how hyped I was, and I was like losing my mind. I was like, oh my god, let's go, get it started.
I was excited.
I was so freaking pumped because this was
for a movie.
yeah, I know.
Like this is not their game. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Mario
It's not
game.
Mario Odyssey 2 or
It's
Mario
a
Galaxy
movie.
3. It's literally the first movie in so long.
And the first movie before that was horrible.
Exactly. Well, that's the problem. It was such a thing. It was like do or die. It's like let's figure this out because this can be like so good, the most amazing thing ever. Or it could just be so bad. Where's my rock so I can hide under it? Because, like, if it's a repeat of what the first one was, no thank you.
yeah, now there's
all right,
actually...
let's not do too much slander against the first
Well,
one.
no.
Yes, theatrically speaking, the movie wasn't great, but it still served its purpose, and it is a fond memory for people like me who did watch it when it
starred
came
Bob
out.
Hoskins and John Leguizamo. I said that
JL, you know what I'm saying?
And
JL, Jennifer Lopez.
John. That's interesting.
It's actually, fun fact, that Mario movie we got was not the first Mario movie. However, Japan, they got an animated Mario movie back in '86.
And how did that go?
Actually, I heard that it wasn't terrible. It was supposedly better than that live action, the freak monstrosity we got, but it wasn't great either. So.
But it was animated like cartoons.
So it wasn't good
But
enough
it was Japanese animated.
to like really make it and be everywhere.
Yeah, it was literally made a
essentially.
promotion for I think the second game or something like that was coming out.
Okay.
Interesting. So, yeah, that's fun times.
Very interesting times. Let's just say that.
All right,
So
so this
the-
one, let's fast forward back to 2022.
Let's get back to
We
real
got the
time.
new trailer.
Okay.
It dropped.
What did we think? What was the anticipation?
So I was hoping, it was a weird combination of excitement and anxiousness because I remember when they announced it in 2015, and well, not announced formally, but they confirmed it. I've kind of been wondering when's it gonna really come out. 2021 was the first time we got an official hey, Miyamoto's talking about it. This is legit happening, and then they revealed the cast and all. This year we finally got something. Now I was hoping that it would be good. There was a part of me that was like, this is just a repeat of '93.
Yes.
But
they did what they did with Pikmin. They mentioned it one time, and then it was like, okay, is this really gonna happen? And then look, same year, back to back, Pikmin 4, and the trailer for the Super Mario movie.
This is the year where dreams come true.
Also, the cast was such a big deal for this movie. So they worked with Illuminations. They did
Despicable Me,
Sing, the Minion movies.
Oh man, Sing! How do we?
Yeah, that's such a good movie,
I think
right?
Sing is great.
Well, the
Sing
first
2?
movie was good.
Awesome.
I
Don't hate
enjoyed
on Sing 2.
Yeah.
Don't hate on
Sing
Sing
2 was
2.
good too.
Sing
I mean,
2.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Illumination, they don't make anything crazy, but their animation's what sets them apart. I mean that basically, if you shot Pixar in the head, then look at that, Illumination would fit in just fine. I mean that they do some impressive stuff.
Yeah, but they're also very
I would
funny.
say, after seeing this one though,
Oh yes, this is
this
like a
looks
whole
like
other
a
level.
new level
in my
above
opinion.
and beyond what they've been doing as far as animation and graphics. Is
Well,
concerned.
right from the beginning, Bowser comes in, right?
Yeah.
With
his ship,
it looked like an island.
The ship
Looked
was
fire.
It was just
itself going like
stunning, humongous.
super detailed.
Mm-hmm.
And the penguins and stuff like that. Now I don't know if you guys caught that reference, but that was actually a reference to Mario 64, where you would go to this ice kingdom. I don't remember the name, but there was like this penguin that was like, "Help me, my kitty's lost," and you would take the little penguin to the mommy. It was never established, but that was a huge reference to Mario 64 in that mission.
They
but
were
those
adorable.
penguins are in many of
are
the
those
Mario
like
games. Those are the ones that
with the
slide.
eyes, the ones that slide.
There's appearances, but they never had a thing like that. Their
Yeah.
first appearance was in
Super
Mario
Mario.
64. That was the most memorable appearance.
Yeah.
Other
That's
times they were in the
pretty
background. They were in Mario Kart courses.
And they slide.
Yes.
Oh, they slide.
On the
And
eyes, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and
so
you
cute.
kill them and you get their.
You bounce on their
you
head,
can
yeah.
slide now.
Okay, well.
The
so-
penguin costume. Don't you guys remember the
Oh,
penguin
right.
costume?
Yes, Mario
It's
wears.
like a
yeah.
huge, it's like a huge part.
Yeah, but that's where it started in Mario Galaxy.
You
So-
know what? And Mario, he started in the first Donkey Kong game.
That's true. Mario is a
Yeah.
spin-off of Donkey Kong. If
Yeah.
there's no Donkey Kong, we wouldn't get this fat plumber on our screens.
Yeah.
So,
And Donkey Kong started in Donkey Kong.
So
What?
So it's just
So-
everybody started.
So Donkey Kong was the initial, and then Mario just ran with it.
he was originally called Jumpman, but then after Mario Brothers came out for the arcades, that's when he got.
And then they got a new color and said, let's turn this outfit green. And they're like, you know what? He has to be a different person now.
Make him a little taller, and here we have
And
Luigi.
skinny. So short and fat, tall and skinny.
Yes.
Go.
So
Yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
great commentary on the
On the
trailer.
trailer of the
trailer.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Right
got
on
a lot
track.
to say. I've got a lot. To
right
say.
on track.
Yeah, about something else, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Because not about the show, not about the trailer that we saw.
All right, refocus.
Focus, get back
All
in
right.
line.
The big thing was the voices. Now the voices.
Well, the voices
most
was the
scary
scary
part.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now I'm not gonna lie, Jack Black really caught me off guard as Bowser. He could not be more perfect in my.
Oh my
eyes.
gosh,
He did
perfection.
extremely
And
well.
they made his face
Yeah.
look like him.
But
I
not in a
feel
way where
like
it was
I just-
weird. How I was like, ugh, that looks like. Jack
Or
Black.
does Jack Black look like Bowser?
Like, so first of all, his interview, I loved it. It's super enthusiastic, energetic, ready to go. He gave me Bowser vibes right away
It
with
looked
the
like it
long
with the
hair.
beard.
Yes, the beard grew out.
And I thought those lines were natural, but you let me know that it's possible that he could have just.
Been highlighted,
highlighted
or
'cause
something
it's
like that.
perfectly
It's perfectly aligned, right?
I was like, man,
Different
that's
colors.
pretty dope.
Yeah, you were like, oh damn, did he grow that himself? And I was
Did
like,
he?
potentially, no.
Potentially. Yeah.
Sorry to mess up your dream.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
The voices,
So
though.
he fit right in. He came in his ship. The anchor, that spike ball that hit that ice and like slushed it out into like snow. It was freaking phenomenal.
It was stunning.
And then they went right in with the penguins coming in, and it went from badass to like this comedic illuminations thing that we know. And it was so funny when they attacked Bowser, right?
Bowser, he just got attacked.
That was so cool. And I felt like reminded, and I'm like, okay, so how am I going to end up feeling when I actually watch this whole movie? Because like, I love Bowser, right? Because normally he just shoots out fire and it's like all a
He'd be cute and
yeah,
whatnot.
kind of.
Now
That's exactly how he does
now
it.
That's exactly.
That's exactly.
Fire out his mouth like Goku being spewing out a
Yes!
beam
Thank
of Super
you!
Saiyan God.
So there was this gorgeous, humongous ice castle, and like Bowser literally destroyed it. It was so badass that I'm like, by the end of the movie, is he gonna do enough to kind of like make me feel like, damn you, Bowser, how can you do this?
There's gonna be some fist fight between Bowser and Mario punches him off like a castle.
I mean,
or
I feel
something.
like Bowser's just misunderstood. You know, he's just a hopeless
What?
romantic.
Get my girl!
You know, he has to kidnap her because she won't come with him.
Oh, yes,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
It's
So
be-
it's just like,
Shakespeare.
what are you gonna do? You know, I mean,
I can imagine they met on Tinder and then they started just arguing. I don't know.
that's
Well,
fun times.
They swipe
The-
left and then he's like, oh, you want to swipe left on me, huh?
Nah, it's not gonna happen. I will find you, girl.
So then afterwards, Bowser steals a star and he's like, who's gonna stop me? And of course, you know who's gonna stop him.
Obviously,
I'm just kidding. Mario.
Mario. Now, did anybody else get like Avengers vibes when he got that
The
star? It was like when they were looking for the stones, remember? And he finally got the star, and he said, "Finally, blah blah." So it kind of felt like he was gathering the star power
Well-
to become more powerful, kind of like
Yeah.
with the
I mean, at
gauntlet.
the end credits of every Avengers, obviously leading to Infinity War where things actually happen.
It mentions
he
Bowser's
slowly-
name in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you take off his mask, it was Bowser all along.
It was Bowser.
Got it.
See?
Yeah. So, then
So
after,
no one else got
yeah.
those vibes. I got it. Okay, noted.
So then after Bowser's Reign of Terror, we get a clip of Mario falling out a pipe into a mushroom land, known as a mushroom kingdom where the mushroom people live. And yeah, we
Oh.
finally get a taste of Mario's voice.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was really bad.
I'm not-
Really? You
It
think
didn't
so?
sound- It wasn't horrendous.
It was okay. So I would say that I am glad that they didn't do the whole "it's me, a Mario," and they kind of took more of like the original movie where he just had, and it wasn't as deep, but he had just a slight, if you pay attention, a little bit of a New York accent.
Or if you make it up in your head a little bit,
You just
New
pretend.
York accent.
Just imagine it.
What?
Use your
Like if you could just
Imagine.
pretend that there's a New
Amazing.
York accent a little bit, then you'll hear it. It's
Okay,
like,
maybe.
No, I'm
So
just
you
joking.
don't
I
hear it.
I couldn't hear it. No, he sounds like Chris Pratt.
No,
Okay.
I
To me.
hear it.
I don't know.
but
It's
I just
very
don't like it.
it's very light. You hear it in there a little bit. So you would have rather heard the "it's a me, Mario" style of
Honestly, I don't know why.
It would have to be a middle.
I did.
I don't think you can do that. It's mocking at this point.
Yes,
like-
I feel like no
Yeah.
one would have.
They would have to hire a real Italian who actually spoke.
Oh my
like
God!
that.
Or
You know
just
what?
Mario.
You know who would have made that perfect sound just perfectly right? And
Ryan
again,
Gosling.
what?
He's dancing
That was
everything.
good. That was good.
Oh God!
But again, I don't feel like anybody could have. I'm glad that they stayed away from that because I don't feel like anybody could have done it right. But if we're talking about somebody coming close to perfection with that, I think that the stand-up comic Sebastian,
He's in the movie. He's
He
forming
is in
Spike
the
from Wrecking
movie.
Crew.
I think
Is he in the movie?
Yeah, he's in it. He's
Yes.
forming Spike from Wrecking Crew back in NES.
But
It's part
wait,
of the
hold on.
backstory.
Sebastian doing an Italian.
Sebastian.
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but he
think
doesn't
would've-
sound like Mario.
I
Yeah,
think
I
he
never-
could have.
No, he's not Mario.
For,
He's forming Spike.
for me,
But
For
Everybody knows
me,
Doodle
I
is fine.
think
Doodle
that
is
if
talking
anybody
about-
can get into that character and deliver, it could be him. I've seen his stand-up, a lot of his stand-up, and I feel like he can embrace
I just don't feel
that
like
character.
he's not lovable. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would
He's very-
be really
yeah.
annoyed at everything type of voice.
But acting is just acting, right? I think maybe potentially
Oh, it
he
is
could have
potentially.
I
done
think-
it.
You know, the funny thing is that they talk about authenticity, and they have to be the exact race of that person in order to be them, sort of thing. But they did not bother getting an Italian actor to be Mario.
To be clear,
don't,
had they
but-
ever said that Mario was Italian?
Yes.
No, I
Well,
feel
he's
no.
Brooklyn.
Even the show, yeah,
Brooklyn is
it's-
not Italian.
He's
Brooklyn's
No,
American.
the accent is from New York, correct?
They couldn't
Mhm.
be
And that's how they
Mario.
made the original movie. And so that's what they did again. In the video games is where you hear the "It's a me, Mario" phrase, but normally when they portray him, it's a New York accent, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's what they stay true
Whoa,
to.
whoa, hold on,
And
hold on. What? No. In every single game, he sounds like
I'm sorry.
Mario.
Movie. Okay, I said
The
whatever
one movie
the
from-
one movie, guys.
that happened.
Okay, the
Got
one
it.
movie.
Every time they do a
Every
movie,
time.
That is Bowser and Hugh.
he's from Brooklyn. Got it. Yes. Every time they do a movie,
No, but they did. They also
He
did
talks
the
normal.
show. They did
Yeah,
the
the
show,
Netflix
and
show.
yes,
That was really good.
It
They
wasn't
should have
a
gotten
Netflix
that.
show.
well, you know
No.
that? Are you talking about
No,
the
bro.
old Mario show?
No way.
Netflix wasn't fucking around when that show came out. Are you kidding me?
No,
Netflix
it
wasn't
on
around.
Netflix.
Okay,
This is
okay.
a
On
Netflix
Netflix.
show.
It was on
Not a
Netflix.
Netflix
It's not a
show.
Netflix
It was
show.
on
Shows on
They pick up the
Netflix.
rights
Got it,
in
got it.
83 or
All right,
89.
all right. Just wanted to clarify because I was very confused.
And I'm pretty sure there was two guys who did the anime voices. There was one of them passed away last year, but I think the guy who did the Super Show that was on Netflix is still around. It would have been impossible, but he's not Mario though. Charles Martinet, who is actually him in the video games, has confirmed that he's coming back to do guest little cameo appearances to voice little characters around here and there.
Okay,
Where?
so he
In the
voices.
movie?
No, they didn't say who, but he's not gonna
In
be
the
Mario.
movie?
Yes, in the movie.
So they're gonna
So
that's a
use him-
slap
Yes, that really
in
is.
the face.
That really is.
It's like, hey, listen, you're not good enough to be Mario, but we'll get you a spot. Okay,
No, he's a plant.
maybe like a pedestrian who's walking by, or like
Wrong
not
in so
told,
many
but like
ways.
one of the toads that
That don't
exists
speak.
and don't ever speak. But you can make a sound like.
It's so messed up because this is we're talking about like what went through their minds, how they decided to go with the movie. But if they wanted to go and take the terms of like the video game and follow up with that, they could have just used the actor that plays Mario in the video
That wasn't
game.
Yeah, but I feel like as a movie, it'll be mocking.
Well,
In the game,
I
it's
agree.
a game, but in a
Yes.
movie, for him to be saying, "Oh, come on, Luigi,
let's
let's go save a Pizza Peach." It's like that's some clown ass shit to hear.
It's gonna
In a
sound
movie.
normal when we're watching the movie.
I think Chris
Now-
Pratt
It'll
for
get-
me,
we'll
but
get
this
over
is this is split because for me, I think they made Mario so freaking adorable.
Oh, now we have another
I-
problem because I don't like how Mario looks.
loved
From the
it.
beginning, I told you, his clothes are horrible.
But
His
they
face
look
is horrible. That's not
perfect.
mother
The
Mario. His
clothing.
mustache,
No,
it's not
the-
right.
It
He
is.
looks like 6
Oh my
kilos.
gosh!
from
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph.
What?
Yeah.
No,
No.
actually, I'm not a big hater on him. I actually thought he looked
Me
kind of cool.
neither.
However,
I loved it.
if you take a picture
Yeah.
side by side, you can see the differences.
This
It's
is
like
the
when
thing.
you
This is the thing.
think about the best way to I know exactly how to compare it. Look at Space Jam 1 and 2. You look at Bugs Bunny from Space Jam 1, Space Jam 2. They look similar enough when you see them at different times, but when we put them next to each other, they look completely different.
Yeah, but even that doesn't do it because that's just two different artistic approaches years after, right? Because Bugs Bunny's looked very different every time they
Wow,
upgraded
yes.
technology. You know,
Mhm.
when he first drew Bugs Bunny versus when he's on WB and stuff like that. Back-
Warner Bros.
Yeah, it was. He looks way better, right? More definition, so he's improved. So we've already gone through that stage with Mario. Mario has many CG appearances in all his games. he's right there. It's not like a person. It's not like you're making a documentary and you're getting somebody who looks close to the original person.
Close enough.
But it's not him. They literally, they could just make him look the same.
Okay, so
Just
this
better.
is the thing. I disagree 1,000%. I loved his clothing, the wrinkles on it, the way it folded around. I loved his face. It was so chub. It was so freaking cute. I loved his mustache and his hair. I was like, oh, it's Mario. I got all giddy. I was so excited. I loved it. And I'm not a Chris Pratt fan, right? I'm not, he's kind of like, so this is what happened for me. Mark Wahlberg, I told you guys that I wasn't a fan of his and I never liked any of his work. It's kind of like, hate your face.
Hate your face. Got it.
All right.
Mark and Mark. Got it.
But he did a movie, The Other Guys.
Yes.
And it's one of my favorite movies, and I have been a fan ever since. Okay. Didn't really care for Chris Pratt either, much at all. He did great in the Lego movie. Awesome. It's not that he's a bad actor.
It's just,
yes, I'm just not like a fan. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, it's Chris Pratt.
Yeah, like, well,
Until
not
she
like that.
sees him.
Yeah,
And then she'll leave you at the top of the escalator and she'll
Shut your
run
mouth.
down and scream his name like a groupie. Put it this way. The more she talks crap about a famous person,
You
the
shut
more
your mouth.
likely that she will run to them and push everybody out of their way.
She's not really Ella. She comes doing backflips to her.
Anybody.
Listen, you shut your mouth.
That's
All right?
this is, I'm
Happened
talking
one
facts.
time.
No.
One time.
What?
Anyway, all right, that's another topic, right? All right, can I move on with my conversation?
All right, just saying.
Okay. We saw his show from Amazon Prime,
Terminal list.
The Terminal List. Okay, Chris Pratt, that's a bit better. Little clap for you. Don't mind you so much. The show was really good. The first episode we saw, it was like,
The Terminal
The
List?
Terminal List.
It was
And
very
then
good.
the second one,
Got
it just
really
got better
good.
and better. And so anybody who wants to check it out, it's a great show. But
Agreed.
as soon as I saw him as Mario, and then I heard the voice and kind of connected everything, I was like, oh my God, I'm a fan.
So you became a groupie from the trailer.
From an animated movie.
And hold on, but it's not only the animated movie, because the Lego movie, he actually
Did
did
a
work
great job.
on his voice. So
No,
the
fair.
the
No
animated
fair.
movie that he
No
sounds identical to his own self.
No, he has a
So
New
you've
York
heard him
accent.
talk like a million times.
Somebody back me up
But
here.
there's nobody.
Sorry.
Yeah,
There's
I
a-
got
You can
it.
do your
It's
accent right
Chris
now.
Pratt.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. This is my New York accent as well. The fuck?
Someone knew your
Listen,
accent.
I-
Look at me.
When I tell you guys that I love Mario in the Mario Brothers in the video games, I was not kidding. Just not the movie that they made. That was whack. Like Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
But this
This is like reigniting a freaking burning passion that you have for Mario that has not shown itself
At all.
in,
Years.
in decades. Have not seen this passion for
You
Mario.
weren't even big
I
on
love
Ever.
I'm
And that was like a
the
masterpiece.
Nintendo groupie here.
Like silently in the background.
What are you talking
What?
about silently?
What? Silently.
I was
Watch
very-
from the back.
I was very excited when I saw Mario.
Oh yeah, I know you got excited for
I
that.
loved the voice. I was very happy. I became an instant fan. I was like, okay, it was just like when I saw The Other Guys, and then like I loved that movie, and I was like, all right, you're not so bad. And then boom, the same instant reaction. I was so giddy from the movie being brought to life, looking so good from what I saw. I was really happy. Now, when he did the interview, I was like, shut up, you freaking liar. Because he's sitting there talking about, and just like elongating the moment about how it was like, oh, I've played in the
Which you clearly
laundromat
didn't.
for many hours.
Just to be clear, though, you saw the interview first, then saw the trailer, and
you were
fell in
obsessed.
love with Chris Pratt.
I didn't say fell in love. I said
You
I
fell
am
in
a
love
fan
with Chris Pratt
now.
after seeing how full of crap he was in the interview.
I remember his
I
interview,
am a
too.
fan now. I don't mind him so much.
Now, do you
Before, I was like,
also
why are
love
they-
what's his
why
name?
is-
Charlie?
Charlie Day.
No, not Charlie Day.
Oh
the
my
real
gosh,
voice. The real
yes.
voice.
Oh, Charles Martinet.
Yeah. So you're also a groupie of him, or Charles, the actual voice of Mario?
Who's in the video games, cartoons, toys. You know, that's funny. I can recall Chris Pratt's interview. He was basically like, yeah, I remember playing it in the arcade back in the day. He was
The
so
laundromat,
fast. He was like speedy. He was so blue. It was
Jumped.
incredible. And he's like, sure,
No,
that's Sonic
he didn't.
Hedgehog.
No, he
And
didn't.
he's like, oh wait, that was Sonic.
That is not what
What
you said.
movie is this? Dang.
Oh my god! You know what's funny? He said Koopas, and my thing was like, look at this idiot, Koopas. They're
The
called
turtles.
Goombas, loser.
Goombas are the little.
Yeah. I forgot that Koopas do exist.
Koopas are the turtles. Yes.
You know, clearly he played it at some
Actually, there
point.
wasn't a
Potentially.
there wasn't
Maybe
a
being
single
in the
Goomba in that
movie.
entire trailer, which is surprising. That was the first enemy in the original.
Yeah.
trailers.
There wasn't.
Well, yeah, but that's not really like one of Bowser's minions.
That isn't going on.
Yeah, but like not the main ones.
Can I ask you a question? Has there ever been a character who is a red shell with spikes?
Yes.
Yes, Spiky, I think they're called. It's little Spikies, I think that's their name. They're
The
like
ones
red
they-
shells.
they-
The one
yeah.
that
They
Lactus
just walk
throw.
around and then
Mhm.
The ones
Yeah.
that Lactus throw. Launch them at Mario and then.
Well, are they? Do they have a face?
No.
Yeah, they got like these like a.
Just a
weird
little
tickle
eyes.
thing.
Yeah.
Got
On the
that,
shell?
Like a little split. Not on the shell, but
No,
like
on
a head
the-
poking out.
It's almost like a turtle shell with spikes.
Like a baby turtle.
So essentially, what they're doing, obviously, he brought his army, and you know, Bowser's.
That was dope.
Yeah.
I like that. He came out, they were all lined up, ready
So
to murder.
badass.
But it's like, they think like they should have known that he was just gonna roast these people instead of everybody getting out of the ship and lining up and doing all that stuff.
I
He-
think,
he came down,
obviously,
walked up,
for-
and he was like, "Open the doors." They opened it up. They threw snowballs at him, and he just lit their asses on fire.
Literally.
Like it was really good. It was
It was
obviously
really funny.
they did the whole we're coming to battle, and then it zooms out, and it's just obviously a very large disconnect.
Now, question is, was that like? I forgot my question.
You forgot your question. That's a great start.
So Mario shoots in from like a pipe, right?
Yes,
Which
the green
leads
pipe.
leads us to believe that is he coming from like the real world
That's
into the
I'm
animation
so interested in
world?
like, is that why his clothes look
Oh,
more like
realistic.
real people's
Mhm.
clothes and he just got turned in? But I feel like he would have like
Looked
looked at his
himself,
hands
yes.
and be like, "What happened to me?"
It
yeah,
seems
he's just a plumber in New York.
Well, no.
well, it seems like Toad didn't know him, right?
Oh
When
man,
he's
I
like-
felt the
he's like,
opposite.
really? Because
Yeah,
he's
because
like,
he
"Don't
didn't
eat
introduce
that."
himself. Yeah, he was
Oh,
just
yeah,
warning
he's
him
on
like, "Don't
Mario.
eat this."
But no, I don't think. I think it's an origin story, confirmed basically.
I think they know each other.
No, the cast. No. The cast. It leads us to believe that's basically what's gonna happen. The confirmation of Foreman Spike, the Wrecking Crew, Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong as well. That's a lot of information that can lead us to believe that it takes place in the beginning of Donkey Kong, the arcade game. It has a time jump to where Super Mario Bros. Takes place, and it shows the leap between like his Brooklyn home where probably he works, probably where Donkey Kong is, and probably how he somehow winds up in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Now,
Okay.
would it make more sense that it's not Brooklyn, but instead it's New Donk City?
That would be cool, but it's already confirmed in his backstory that he is indeed from Brooklyn. New Donk City is just a kingdom in the Mushroom universe. Oh, yeah.
So maybe they should make a game in Brooklyn.
maybe a game of Brooklyn.
so we can see it
Brooklyn Boys
and
on
bring it into the story. Because in Mario games, he has
Mario Odyssey, didn't they go to
New Donk City.
Donk City, but not New York City.
So,
Metro.
I think that's their
It's like their version of it. That's what I'm saying. That's what it be. Yeah, it might be there.
It's weird, but I don't think they ever confirmed it directly in the games, but Miyamoto's confirmed in the lore that he is indeed from Brooklyn, an Italian born from Brooklyn. His native language is English.
Okay.
Then
Well,
why does he have an accent?
Because he's from an Italian family, and obviously
But if his
raised-
native language is English, then he wouldn't have
he
that
has a
accent.
New York
Well,
accent.
he was born in America.
Except for in the video games. Never mind. This is all very confusing. Like, how about let's focus on the trailer, okay?
Alright.
So
All
then
right,
it
all right.
went.
But I
from-
do feel like they know each other in the trailer. No introductions were done.
I didn't feel like they did. I felt like he was just
But how do you know his name?
So he got like portaled in, or obviously that we saw the pipe,
Yep.
right? And he was kind of looking around like, what is this place?
Literally, that's what he said.
First of all, the butterfly that popped up and the music, it just captivating for me. And then he went to touch the mushroom and Toad shouted, "Don't eat that!" like freaking out. And he was like, "Oh no, that one's okay." So it felt like he was warning him because he felt that he didn't know any better. Like he was new around there. That's
Yeah,
what
but maybe
it felt
Toad
like
is the
to
one
me.
who's bringing him to the
help,
kingdom.
Maybe. Oh, that's
So
potentially
Toad
true.
knows him in the other place. Maybe Mario was gonna make a sandwich.
Oh,
It's like, yo, let me cut some mushroom.
Oh my
He got the mushroom ready. He's getting ready to cut it, and he just comes to life. Like, yo, my
Let's
name's
go.
Toad.
Let's go.
I
see
need your
Peach.
help. Your name's Mario. Peach.
That sounds about right.
You know what I'm saying? Miyamoto, me and him spoke. We didn't go do it 7 years, but like 3. You know what I'm saying? We've been on the phone.
And I love how we have not absolutely mentioned Luigi once. How did Luigi get there?
Well, this is the thing. Luigi was not. It was kind of like over, and then boom, they brought in Luigi. Now,
Do they meet?
No, they don't.
Are they telling us that they're not real family
that
and
they're
they
not
meet?
twins.
Or is this undercover Luigi's mansion and Mario's missing and Luigi's coming to fucking rescue him?
There's
Could
a-
you
I
imagine?
read something.
So
I read it. There was a
cool.
theory that Luigi's side of the story was going to be a Luigi's Mansion story.
It looked
Well, it
that
looked
way
scary.
because yes, he was very
Yeah.
frightened, and it was the
Oh my god, it's Luigi's mansion and Mario sucked into the picture, but instead it's the pipe that takes him to this other world
Or
and
they're
Luigi's
setting it up.
fucking looking for
this
him.
could be like the greatest movie ever.
This would be
Or
so
they
dope.
set up the NCU, Nintendo Cinematic Universe. They come. There's rumors that Donkey Kong will get a solo movie after this.
Oh my god, if they do
And
that,
then Luigi's Mansion.
That
This
would
would
be
be
awesome.
crazy. That would be crazy.
That would be so cool. Because like Luigi, it kind of ended and then it went into like a different part that looked completely different into
Yep.
Luigi's world. Who knows what's to come?
But if I'll be
That's
realistic,
wild.
That
I
will
think
be amazing.
What happened is that probably Mario and Luigi are gonna be working. Probably Mario's gonna go and like, I'm gonna be right back, buddy. And then he goes in like a pipe, like, oh shoot, what's this pipe? I better jump in it. Hops in, and that's how he ends up there. And Luigi goes crazy
Goes
looking for
looking
like,
for
where
him.
is he?
All right,
And
let's
maybe-
And
remember
maybe
this.
He ends up
And
in
let's
Luigi's
see-
Mansion world.
Let's see
looking
whose
for
story
Mario
is closer
because he
to
went through a different
reality.
pipe.
Midway through the movie, maybe
I'm leaning
I found
towards
a pipe.
Doodle.
And then he pops in the
I
pipe.
think
and-
it's Luigi Mansion World.
Mm-mm.
Mario gone missing.
Maybe
Mario
they
went on
take different
vacation
As
And
with
fire as that would
Peach.
be-
and they went to this hotel. Gone.
As far as
Mario's
that would
like, yo, I'll be back. Boo. I'm gonna go get some ice.
Yeah.
Make,
You know what I'm
let's, how about we
saying?
make it realistic? He went to go get some pizza,
I'm gonna go get some
Yeah.
pizza. I'll be back.
spaghetti.
I
And
think
then-
as cool as that would be, they might set up Luigi's Mansion. But I think it'll just be Mario goes in maybe midway through the movie, Luigi finds his way in. It's just a different area of the Mushroom Kingdom. Maybe where it's like a ruin or
It's
something.
gonna be like Inception. So it's Peach gets taken. So Mario, with the help of Toad, goes to look for her. Luigi's like, yo, I haven't heard from Mario in weeks. The last place I know is he was at this hotel with Peach. Uh-oh, let me go investigate. Boom, hotel's haunted. Luigi's Mansion 4 confirmed.
4.
Oh, now you got video games too.
No,
Oh yeah, the
4.
game's gonna come out
4
now.
games.
But
No,
Luigi's
no,
Mansion
3
3, we
There's
just
1
came
Dark
out.
Moon and 3.
Yeah, now 4 is gonna come out, and that's the whole reason this movie exists. It's actually just
To promote
an
this
extended
forward.
Oh, what a
trailer
slap in the
of
face.
Luigi's Mansion 4, and the graphics are so good because it's for the next Switch.
PS5. Only for PS5.
So who was happy with the trailer?
I'm content.
I actually really liked it. Even though the voice is Chris Pratt, I don't have a problem with Chris Pratt's voice. So, I feel like I liked his voice in
The
Lego movie.
Mhm.
So I'm okay. I like Chris Pratt, so I think he's gonna be fine.
No, I know there's a lot of Chris Pratt haters.
And
out
he'll
there,
have a lot
but
of good
he's a
people
guy.
around him. You know what I'm saying? Like Toad is spot on.
Oh, Keegan-Michael
Luigi
Key.
from his little
Luigi's spat on. Dude,
That-
the obviously we know
And
him
Bowser.
from Horrible Bosses, right?
Yes.
And he does that voice
Yep.
throughout that movie. A little bit, like he's it's a little squeaky.
and he kind of
It's
has the
just perfect.
mannerisms of a sidekick.
God bless.
God bless you. So he's like a sidekick in that movie too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that's his kind of role. So he plays that helpless, I need you Mario role anyway. So yeah, overall I'm very
Satisfied?
satisfied.
Well, these are a lot of. First of all, these are a lot of
You're set
Hamilton
up.
references.
Yeah.
Helpless and satisfied.
There are words in the dictionary.
But
Listen,
it's
it's
Hamilton
Hamilton.
words now.
It all comes back to Hamilton in the songs, okay?
I wonder if
That
Hamilton did the
was
soundtrack of this movie.
Potentially. So let's not forget that Nintendo just purchased
An animation studio,
it's
Dynamo
correct.
Pictures, and renamed it Nintendo Pictures.
Correct.
So I had a little theory about it, which I pretty dang sure is 100% accurate because we know Nintendo. I think they bought it not long after the Direct happened. Like, no, not long before. Am I crazy? So basically, I think what they're trying to do is that they partner with Illumination.
You mean like this direct that we just saw?
Yeah, this was a little while before. Not like crazy long, but it was long enough.
Like a couple days.
Nah, I think it was like a month, maybe two. But they had to
So a
have known
month
about it.
ago,
They had to have planned it.
they bought this company.
Yeah, like it all went through. So basically, I think what
Went
they're gonna
through,
do,
yeah.
Nintendo is known for following the beat of their own drum, doing what they want to do. So I think is that they keep saying how they have such close relations with Illumination. They watched over them so closely. I think what they want to do is they're trying to watch them and see how they do their animation. And then after they're like, hey, this is amazing. We want to do a sequel. Screw you. We're making our own. And then they're gonna start making their own stuff. I think that's what's gonna happen.
I
Imagine a
think.
Zelda movie.
Oh my goodness.
Metroid.
I
All
mean-
the characters coming to
Kirby.
life. That would be pretty epic. Kirby, yes.
They're gonna start. Maybe they'll make their own Mario movie.
This is gonna make Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Imagine
Yoshi.
Imagine if they make like Mario movie, Zelda movie, Kirby movie, then Smash Bros. Like the Avengers or something like that. Then they introduce Star Fox in Phase 2 or something like that. Like, yeesh.
Then have their own network, run their own stuff. We're dreaming big for you, Nintendo. Don't
I know.
let us
I mean,
down.
at this point,
You're drinking the Kool-Aid.
just everybody else shut down. You know what I'm saying? Apple TV, no, thank you.
No. Nintendo
Disney,
TV.
Hulu.
Netflix.
I'm gonna take a pass.
Oh, bye-bye.
Wow.
Nintendo
Nintendo TV is the
Wow.
only Nintendo
TV.
TV
Well,
we
they
need.
did say that it was a partnership and that they worked together for over 7 years, that they were very involved in everything. You could imagine that at first I heard it and I said, okay, so it's got to be difficult. Legendary, iconic characters like Mario, and it's like such a big deal to them that obviously they want to overlook and be a part of everything, right? We're talking about Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Peach, and Toad, and so it's a big deal. And then you hear this about them buying a movie studio, and it's kind of like, were you guys like 007 them, where you were trying to learn and spying around, drinking martinis, like, hey, what are you guys doing? Collecting evidence to bring back to your studio on how to do and what to do.
Yeah, it's possible. I think maybe long term, yes. I think in the short term, if there was a sequel, they wouldn't do anything on their own. I think they need to make it where this gets established because people
100%.
know Mario and the fans know Mario. Right? So you think about how many people own a Nintendo Switch, right? So
25.
we said how many people watched the Direct, right? And then when they watched the Direct, it was a big number, 400 something, maybe 400,000, a little less.
Plus, I think.
But there's so many people who own a Switch, millions and millions and millions of people who did not watch that trailer, right? So their TV world is very different than game world. That shows you that out of all the millions of systems they sell, that is the core who showed up to watch that trailer. Those are the people who actually are like super ingrained. That's not enough for a movie.
Guilty.
You know what I'm saying? Like they need more for a movie.
Of course.
So that's why they want Illumination, because Illumination carries clout.
And that's also why they picked the actors that they picked. That's also why I was expecting to see Mario and Luigi, right? When they announced the interviews, and obviously they went with
That was a shock, actually. I was like,
with
what the heck?
Bowser,
Good
Blackjack,
story.
a more known name, and obviously Chris Pratt to do the initial introduction.
Now, does that tell you about the story? The fact that they showed Mario and Bowser in the interview.
Yeah, so
the
being
trailer
like the
is
main-
Mario and Bowser.
Mhm.
Looks like that's going to be the main
Event.
event of the story. Like, obviously, we know Bowser's the bad guy, Mario's the hero. But the fact that they showed the voice actors for them, like everybody else, I think is just going to be very secondary.
I mean, they are
Like, they're telling a
but they are
classic
calling
Mario
it
story.
the Super Mario Brothers movie.
They are.
You know,
Calling
so
it
you
that.
can't call it.
Brothers.
Yes, you can't call it the Super Mario Brothers and not have a substantial amount of like brothers, Luigi and Mario in there.
Man, I keep thinking about it. Like, I just want to watch the movie.
Right? I
Because
am
I'm like,
so
how is
excited.
it going to come out? Like, what are they going to do? How are they going to be funny? Are they going to, are they going to lean into Illumination's, like, quality of funny?
Seems like it.
It did seem like it to me.
Are
as
they going to
well.
have their own version of the Minion, right? Because that's, like, a popular thing now. So, a character in the Mario
Oh my
world.
God, the Koopas are getting obnoxious.
No, probably the Goombas, right? They don't really
Mhm.
talk.
And then they're
So
gonna have
that
these
just makes
cheery
up
little
noises.
critters. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Man, I just want to watch it now at this
I
point.
do too. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really good. I'm very happy with what I saw. Probably beyond because it could have went either way. So it did exceed my expectations of what I thought. And I'm
Nintendo's
very
not afraid
happy.
anymore. And that's a good thing. After that Mario movie, they were so scared. You know that there was rumors about that Zelda series on Netflix? That
No.
was real. And Netflix employee came out about it. They said that it's true, that was happening. However, after the leaks started coming out, like, the people are trying to realize that it's actually happening, Nintendo literally called Netflix and like shut down everything about it, like just cancel the whole thing. Shut down any production companies, just erase it from your company, basically. And they're like, oh, okay. And that was the end of that.
I mean,
so annoying.
what was?
Every single time after the Mario show, it would show this like
People, the next Legend of Zelda. That
yeah.
was a real cartoon, though. They did Saturday morning cartoons and trying to promote it in the States.
Now, I mean, Xbox is known for doing things like this, that like if the fans are not happy, they kind of pull back. I mean, they're telling you what they don't want. And if you're starting a new project that is potentially extremely expensive to put together and everybody's like, no, we don't want it, I mean, what are you gonna do? Read between the lines, they don't want it.
Yeah, that's true.
Ah.
All right, so overall thoughts, final thoughts on
Mario movie?
the Mario trailer,
Yeah, the Super Mario Brothers movie trailer, good.
and your anticipation for like what?
I'm excited.
Scale of
I
1 to
just wanna
10.
see it. Hype level 10. I think that it can either go so well or so wrong, but I have very high hopes for the good, and I think that this could genuinely be one of the best video game adaptations out there. And honestly, we've seen a good trend lately. Netflix has been the ringleader with, like, they did Arcane, The Witcher, Cyberpunk, Cuphead. There's so many like good examples of how they've been able to bring these properties to life, and I think Mario movie is a good step in the right direction.
I agree.
All right, Doodle, what do you
100%.
think? What's your final kind of thought? on it
I
and your
have to
anticipation?
agree. I was split and in half. Like I was like, this could be good, this could be bad, and I am very happy with what I saw. It just reassured that this is going to be great. I cannot wait to see more. I was so excited. I want to see the movie.
Are you gonna see more though? Like a trailer? Would you keep watching trailers? Like
Absolutely.
I feel like I don't need
You're
any more
done for
trailers.
now because you know. This is the thing. Once you know 100% that you want to watch something,
Yeah, anything else is just a spoiler.
Exactly. So I do see that as a valid point and kind of what else is there to see? I already know that I want to see the movie, and anything will just be hints of what's
Yes.
coming.
Like
I personally want
just
to
wanna-
see Peach's face still. I don't know what she's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even that, I'd rather just see it when it happens.
Based on Bowser and how they made the others look, I think that I'm gonna be very content with anything else that comes after.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you of excitement level?
As freaking hyped as you can be.
10?
100%. 10.
Nice.
10.
And honestly, in actually little mini prediction. Now, I actually thought this theory kind of right away, but it turns out actually another channel, the Film Theorists, actually kind of thought about it too. But honestly, I think that at the end of the movie, they're probably gonna tease Bowser Jr. or the Koopalings, like the little Koopa.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
They're probably gonna tease them for the next Mario movie or something like that.
Who's to say they're not in this one?
I doubt it because they weren't in the cast list, and they basically showed everybody.
Yeah,
so
these
I
are
don't think-
very
like if
prominent
Daisy,
characters.
Rosalina,
So,
if
They're
those
not in it?
people were there,
They're not in it.
No,
no.
they weren't
were there, They
mentioned.
would probably say it.
Mhm.
Oh, that's whack.
You did mention that it
That's
would
a
be
negative
very
for me.
cool if they had Rosalina in there and
Yeah, that was-
Daisy.
Well, they can't
But they
dump
were not
everyone in one
mentioned.
movie.
So this
That
is
is
a,
true.
They can't.
Yeah.
Because what, they want to make a second movie. What are they gonna introduce? Sideshow Bob.
Well, it's kind of like
Mario
how they've been doing the first Sonic the Hedgehog. It was just Sonic, right? And then they brought in Tails, and now they have Knuckles. And
They're also
it's
bringing
just,
Shadow.
I think that there are so many characters for Nintendo to play with and essentially just continue. Illuminations, they're on the second Sing movie. They have what? 3 Despicable Me's.
Yeah,
They
Minions
have
Rise
branched
Against
out, yes,
they
with
have
the
multiple
minions.
minions.
Super successful.
So I think that this is based on what we saw. It's a great partnership. Hopefully it'll continue. Hopefully they left a lot of room to make a lot more movies because I think this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Purberry, what's your final thoughts on it and your scale of 1 to 10?
Final thoughts, no pressure.
Tell us now! Everything!
I think it's gonna be really good. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good, and I want to see Peach. And 10 out of 10.
Do you feel that, because I know we saw the poster and you loved everything except for like Mario. Yes, his clothes. Right from the get-go, she
I
said.
hate his clothes.
Yup.
Dude,
I
his
don't
clothes
like
are weird.
Yeah.
So,
Why is it collar?
So, right from the beginning, you said how you didn't like the clothing and the way that Mario looks. And then it was certainly a reassurance when you actually saw the video. So, hearing the voice and having all these hopes for the movie, can you look past how he looks that didn't live up to how you thought it would for the vision of the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, good. And they actually.
So was that a yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually, I personally
okay.
didn't look. They actually leaked Mario's face out of McDonald's ad. There you go. I didn't look up it.
Well, I remember seeing this one thing. Can't remember what it was, but I hated the look of it. And then as I started like watching the movie, it was kind of just like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. So I think it's gonna be fun with Mario. I like everyone else so far. know what they're gonna do with Princess Peach.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So, and you said 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
For
Right.
Princess Peach.
Oh, right.
So, first thing for me with this was, it was always going to be, the biggest thing for me is how it looks, because that's what I watch
It
these
looks
things
better
for.
than every Mario game ever made.
This is the dream I've had of what a Mario game would look like if they had a powerful system. So I think graphically it looks phenomenal, like out of this world, beautiful. So I'm really excited for that. I think all the jokes that I saw leads in the right direction of what I would want to hope to see from a movie like this. Voice work was really good. You know, Chris Pratt, like I said, it's I'm okay with Chris Pratt. I don't have a problem with his voice. I find like his voice is like a cartoon voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Mario that I would have anticipated, but I'm okay with, them, this being his own Mario, and this is just the voice of him for the movie and then whatever other movies they do. Now, I will say that I didn't know all the voice actor list of. I mean, obviously they showed it in trailers, but I didn't know who correlated with what character. So I am a little disappointed. I think that I don't like that they don't have a lot of these other characters in there.
You have a lot
But
of
it all depends on the way they do the story and how it comes out. Like, am I going to miss these characters?
Yeah.
Like, is there only going to be one woman in the whole movie?
It's gonna be,
It's just Princess Peach, and then everybody else is a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't remember.
I feel like that's weird.
Well, it sounds like the Smurfs right now.
Yeah,
as you're
like
describing it.
Like,
I
I
didn't
feel
even
like a
pay
movie in
attention
this
to
day
that.
and age shouldn't have
Yes.
I mean, think about it. They can't.
and they have other women.
Well,
So
I
if
know.
it'll for me, if they only have Princess Peach in there, they don't have Daisy or Rosalina.
Well, here.
It's why?
Here's the one thing.
Like it's-
Daisy's where Daisy lies in the Mario canon is complicated because it's like Waluigi. Like, she had an appearance on a Game Boy Super Mario Land. That's what makes her canon. The only time she was in a mainline Mario entry. Other than that, Mario Party, Mario Kart, they're not canon. They're just side stories. They're made up little worlds, but they're not part of the video game canon. Waluigi has never been in a single game. It's not really canon. It's only in party games, stuff like that.
Yeah, but this movie is also not a continuation of their story. This is a retelling of the story.
Well,
Now-
So, why not take advantage of that and
well,
bring in more
I
women?
think you all
In
are
their
thinking
def-
about short term, but
Mhm.
like you can't lay out all your cards.
Yeah, but
Daisy and Rosalina are
we
huge.
still have to watch this one movie, and this one movie might be the last movie if it doesn't do well. So why not bring in more women into the show, the movie? I mean, I don't see in the world that we live in today. I don't think my daughter should go to watch this movie and there's one girl,
Female character.
one woman in the show, in the movie.
Well,
I
I don't think that
she's
makes
very
sense.
strong.
I think that's a very valid point. I would also say that Peach did not make it to the trailer.
Not even in the trailer.
So I don't know how much of a role. I mean, obviously they have a Peach, but we don't know how much screen time Peach is going to have in this movie.
Yeah, is she just gonna
How-
get captured and you're
then
never gonna
she's-
see her
she's
because
gone and
she's-
everything's the battle, and then until the end, are they gonna stay true to like how they normally show it in the Mario games, or are they going to incorporate her more? Maybe bring in Toadettes. Like, it's all from what I saw. It was in the poster.
Well,
from
They
what
have Pauline too.
yes.
Pauline's not in the movie.
I didn't.
Actually, Pauline.
I didn't
know.
say
I
she was
thought
in the
she's
movie. I'm
saying
saying
a
she's
female
another
character.
female character that they can.
Which funny thing is that
Use.
she was gone for so long after Donkey Kong, and I think she was like in DS games and then Donkey Kong. Other than that, she was gone until Mario
Mhm.
Odyssey finally brought her back, and now she's in sports games. They're trying to use her again, which is a good thing.
I don't know what they're planning to do. I'm hoping that they keep it going and essentially bring in a lot more characters. There are, when you think about it, it's the ratio of female to male
Yeah, there's so little.
characters is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if they essentially put them all out in one shot, it's kind of like okay.
If you
But
look at Mario
I would love to see like Daisy and Rosalina.
It's just,
and,
I just feel like
um,
it doesn't make sense not
Yeah,
to.
and
Peach
Toadette
more
and Peach.
Like a Bo Peep in 234.
Yes.
Oh, they left her on part 3, but they brought her back in 4. I don't know. 4, it's interesting, because I like what they did with Bo Peep in the movie. However, I don't agree with her flashback making her strong and independent like that. Because this is right after Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2, she was a Daisy Flower. She still should be that character, but she should become that person later in the movie. If she was
why?
If she was delicate,
She missed the whole movie.
Yes.
In that movie they literally are telling you that in that time, she got taken out of this comfy kitty baby world. She was stuck in the real world. She had it to survive and do what she had to do.
You misheard me. Toy Story 2, I don't know if you remember Toy Story 4, the flashback. 9 years ago, Bo Peep gets sold. Remember that?
Yes.
She gets trapped in a box.
Yes.
And out. That was right after part 2. And in part 2, she was I like her. If they made her like that, kept her like that, listen to the whole thing, they kept her like that. But after he met her again 20 years later, and she was that strong character that she is in that movie, which I really liked, that would have given more impact to show how much she's grown over that course of time. Instead they're gaslighting you and making you think she was always that strong character, which that's false.
Well, who said? I don't get that from the movie at all.
I think the problem with it was the fact that the movie was not about Bo Peep, so they kind of did a very fast, like, here, this is what happened. I understand what you're saying. You feel like they should have given her a transition, more of a bigger role in when she changed, because it is a completely different character. Yes. Now, for the kids that didn't see, and that's their first Toy Story,
which is the majority of people.
Yes. So they don't know the other characters. So I guess that's a valid point of not going back and explaining so much of a movie that potentially a lot of kids didn't get to see. And the ones that did see it understand the fact that in that time she changed. The movies have always been very much so, even when Bo Peep was such a big part of it in Toy Story 4, they're very much so about Woody.
Yes.
And
it is his story.
So that's where, to them, it was like, we don't need to.
But I feel like I don't even see the argument. Like, zero. I see no argument for it.
Well, you see,
she missed an entire movie. In that time frame, regardless of what they showed you beforehand, in that time frame, her circumstances changed. So by the time Toy Story 4 comes out, that is who she is. Just because she doesn't have to allude back to the old way that she used to be. She's a new person now. She's stronger. She's been through stuff, and she's got to where she is.
You keep talking about what happened.
It's where it's like right after Toy Story 2, and in Toy Story 2, she's still that like little princess or whatever.
Yes.
What you're saying. That's the flashback.
But
That's what he's saying.
But in the flashback, she's still that dainty princess.
Yes. No, she's not. She doesn't act like that. She acts like she does in Toy Story 4 the whole movie. Barbies, Commandos, let's go! Like they have this plan.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Weird.
How much screen time? How much screen time?
She even left.
How much screen time did she get in part 1 and 2?
Part 1 and 2, she was more in the beginning and end, and a tiny bit in the middle.
So is it easy to see that you might not know everything there is to know about her personality?
That's too dramatic of a change. So
why?
It's
literally
a big change.
She sees it. He's like, rescue mission, let's go. Literally, like, I don't. Maybe that's not.
She was not. She didn't play that. She did not play that role. In the movie, and they're trying to portray her as if she.
Another situation.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like normally the people that saved the day were Buzz and Jessie was more like that.
Woody the whole entire time during those two movies, and they're acting like they have this whole system planned for when a toy is lost.
Yes.
But
which was normally that system. was with
Woody and Buzz.
Jesse and Buzz. Yes,
Yeah.
that.
So,
Woody
but I
had
feel
this
like
going on.
the argument that there's no way that she was like this, just because what you saw of her, which was so limited compared to what you see of any of the other characters. Like, she's literally just in there every once in a while. She's worried when Buzz is gone. There's nothing happening for her to do to show any of those things because they're all there. They're getting ready to move. It's a different scenario.
It's
Well,
different.
I
How about
mean-
this? Maybe you can't see it both. But Buzz Lightyear, they did the same thing to him, and it annoys me because they ruined him in Part 4. First two, the first movie, they set him up as
I
this
agree
character
with
that was
that.
rejected.
Mhm.
He was so high up in there. He
Yep.
got rejected after realizing the toy. He
Mhm.
found his bond with Woody that even though it might not have been genuine for Woody and might have just been to save himself in the beginning,
Mhm.
they grew this connection that by the end they were like brothers.
Yep.
Part 2, he was like, Woody saved my life and I can't live, like I can't just let him die. So he
Mhm.
goes out to save him, leads to toys. He becomes so well grown as a character. When he sees him, he's like, you told me that life isn't worth living unless you're being loved by a kid. And I came to you because I believe you. And they took that so much to heart. That was the central core of his
Mhm.
first arc. Toy Story 3, they didn't do too much to Buzz, but what they did is that they reinforced his principles. And when he basically told Woody in the daycare they had to stick together, and he reached out for his hand and Woody rejected him. Then when they're in the trash fire about to burn, and he holds his hand out, and then they hold hands and stuff like that. That shows like the growth of the characters.
Yes.
Toy Story 4, he's like, what do we do, Buzz? Well,
I don't know.
What
Yes.
do we do? I don't know.
I
But
agree.
why? I feel like I'm
personally.
I feel like
Yes, the personality
I
was
feel
completely.
like all of you are wild. You guys don't I don't know. Do you not like progression of story characters? Characters.
was
I'm not the same person I was
Well,
10
okay,
years ago.
so-
got worse.
So this
But
is
it's not
this
worse.
is
He
what
just
we're
changed
feeling.
his feelings of
I
his.
think
He
no.
doesn't.
I think that this is the situation. Completely different writers that took the story where they wanted to take it. I feel like they almost didn't even know the characters before they started writing for them. They took a completely different route. And yes, I understand about growth and development and changing. However, that's what was shown between Toy Story 1, 2 to 3. How they were changing as characters, right? In the same direction. And then they did a complete 180 in their personalities. Like Buzz was always like this hero, this heroic and
With humanity.
So okay, but
Yeah,
can we also remember something? Can we also remember something? Let's get into the mind of what the story is in a toy world that are played by kids. By the time this movie happens, Buzz has barely been played with.
No,
He's not. No, he's not. She doesn't
Meaning
play with
Bonnie
him
doesn't play.
or Woody
No,
like
it's
that.
only Woody.
No,
Buzz
it's
gets
just
the
Woody.
playtime.
Yeah.
Jesse's just a favorite.
No, the other ones are the main ones. Buzz has accepted that he's not going to get played with the same way anymore.
I understand
The
what
toy,
you're saying.
the toy
toys
was
are-
a star,
Yes.
but he's not a star anymore. So he's not thinking of that anymore because it's not necessary. He's just living his life now.
What
He's
you're
a toy,
saying
and
is
he's
that
just
the
doing.
toys are represented and their personalities are represented based on the kid that is playing with them. So when
Except for
Andy, yeah, right?
No, it is Woody. Woody,
when
he just loves the
when
kid.
Andy was playing with these toys, the leads were Woody and Buzz was this super cool hero and like saved the day, and Woody was his best friend.
And all the other
to
characters
Andy, and they were just
didn't
background
care.
characters.
Understand, from the beginning, from Toy Story 1, every other character had no care because they weren't played with. You understand? They
So
didn't
in
care.
Toy Story 4, Bonnie plays with Jessie, and Jessie's like her main lead. So what
'Cause
you're
it's a
trying
girl
to say, because what you're trying to say is that she didn't play with Buzz and made him a hero in the playtime, which means that his personality starts to wash off as this heroic character. Maybe that's how they saw it. but
That's the way
also
I saw it when it
was
made
a
sense.
very big disconnect.
So what I'm hearing is attachment to a character that you liked and having a hard time dealing with the fact that that person has now changed and evolved past who you knew in the past. It's like when you have a friend in high school, then you go away and you guys are so tight and you knew them so well, and then you go to college and you don't see them during college, and then you go and bump into him in real life later on, and he's not that party guy or that fun guy you used to know because life has changed him. You can feel sad. You could feel sad and say, wow, look at how the life has changed Buzz, because he used to be this strong, I know
Confident.
everything, I'm so confident leader, where now, because he's barely played with, he doesn't take that role. He doesn't feel the need to do that.
Guys, I'm sorry. This is like completely like.
Where's
But
the moral?
wait. Wasn't the biker Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
Keanu Reeves was, kaboom, kaboom.
John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves. Matrix guy.
That's pretty dope.
So maybe that's why I like the movie so much,
Yeah, lots
because
of
I feel like maybe I see the what happened. I appreciate how they've grown.
I personally do not care for PlayStation. For PlayStation.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. 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 The truth
Wow.
has finally come out. Oh,
No.
I'm
Okay.
so happy right
All right,
now.
Reset.
No one cares for PlayStation.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
But when God of War Ragnarok comes out, you're gonna be like, oh!
No. Not for PlayStation, for the game.
Which is PlayStation, because
Nah,
that
it's just a
game
game.
belongs to
So then
PlayStation.
That's like saying the movie is
Well, I know,
LP.
right? What did I play it on? The Xbox? Are you gonna
PC.
try to put the disc in the Xbox?
I would.
Meanwhile,
I
your
would.
PS5 blows up, you're gonna be like, no!
I know, right? I need to get another.
Where's the justice?
How long were you waiting for those PS5s?
Right?
Listen,
Yeah.
Did I get one?
all I gotta
Did I get
say
one?
is that Toy Story 4 was a banger.
Oh, I'm sorry. So that's what I was gonna
agree.
say. I don't
All
like
all
Toy
day
Story
about why
4.
Toy Story 4 is somewhat significant in comparison.
I
But-
do not care.
But you can in your mind say that. But now that you go back and if you were listening to what I was saying at
Oh
all,
goodness.
if you were listening to that and you put that type of perspective on the story now,
Could you
maybe you
appreciate
can
it differently?
appreciate a little bit that it was less had to do with the movie and more to do that you were hoping the little boy in you was hoping that you were gonna go
Oh,
back and
goodness.
see the same Woody,
Yeah,
the same Buzz, and the same characters that you saw back when they were Andy's toys.
Is that
And
what
you can't deal
felt?
with the fact that they're Bonnie's toys now.
Is that what you felt when you watched the remake of The Lion King? Or
The remake of The Lion King was amazing.
Any other movie?
There's one problem I have with the remake.
Are you talking about Aladdin? And
Your
how he was
cartoon-
so
your
sad?
cartoon
Lamb was horrible.
Your cartoon movie.
Hey, listen, I'm not hating on him. Look at all this thought I put into Toy Story 4.
Seriously.
No, I have more thoughts.
And I understand what you're saying about Bo Peep, kind of, whatever. But
Mhm.
Bo Peep, you can't explain her outfit change.
Oh yes, she
Her
always had
dress goes from being all
confronted.
puffy and nice.
her skirt had a metal wire. You know, maybe that doesn't matter. You know, maybe I just had to change of heart after these, past seconds since she said that. And honestly, I think that maybe we should just accept Toy Story 4 for what it is. A continuation, even if it was unnecessary, that pushed the story forward and concluded Woody's arc in a meaningful way.
Okay, and speaking of Nintendo, getting back to what we were actually here talking about, which was the movie trailer. Oh God!
What the fuck?
I don't know. I have no idea what was happening. So I was giving my final insight, my final thoughts on on Super Mario trailer.
Out of control.
Yeah. We cannot discuss the actual movie, by the way, when it comes out, because if this is what we did when we talked about a minute and a half trailer, we'll be here for 6 days talking about the movie. So
already past the hour mark.
Assuming that it's 30 minutes long.
yeah, so let's stop that. But yeah, so my final thoughts on it were, like I said, I love the graphics. Chris Pratt with the voice. It's not what I was thinking, but I know I'll be fine with it because I like his voice in general. But what led to the spiral was the idea that I feel like if they don't have other women, like other girls in there, other women in there, like that, for me, it's gonna make it a lesser movie for me. So my anticipation right now, I would say, is a 9 out of 10. So it's not 10. I'm not like through the roof. I feel like there's a lot of doubts in my mind from watching this. I don't know if they're gonna actually capitalize on this or if they're going to.
Very in depth
Wait,
for
turn
somebody
down the
who
hype.
somebody who said that they're delivering on the graphics, and that's like what you cared about.
No, I said that was one of the big things for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Simone seems really adamant on the female aspect of it.
Well,
I understand 100%.
You know, I have
Now,
daughters.
this is the thing. We're talking about a video game that essentially it is what we said. Peach gets kidnapped, and then in the end she comes back when Mario saves the day, right?
Before.
That was before. Yes.
Super Mario Odyssey changes that.
Actually, Mario Odyssey, that's a funny thing that.
Let him.
No, I'm here. Go ahead.
It's a funny thing you bring about the female empowerment thing, but actually, if you. Oh wait, are you gonna play Mario Odyssey?
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
oh,
Let you
maybe.
play. It doesn't matter. It's not.
Well,
Spoiler.
but yeah, the ending of Mario is where Mario and Bowser are bombarding Peach with flowers and please. She's like, you know what? Stop! And then she just walks off and then she goes
It's literally the
off into
video
Odyssey,
that you made.
walks into the Odyssey, and then she's like, well, see you guys. And Mario and Bowser are like, wait, what? And then they're chasing the ship, and then Mario just bounces on Bowser and hops up to the thing with Peach.
Yeah, but then she also just shows up in the stage now because
Yeah,
she's
Marcy's
just
super-
out.
Yeah, she travels.
No, in Odyssey,
Yeah.
she's
I
just
remember.
out. She's out and about. She doesn't need Mario, and that's the big statement that they made in the game. Now, I don't know if they're gonna use that same tired Peach getting taken by Bowser. It looks like they're doing more of like Bowser's search for power that's driving the movie.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna get to when I said that it reminded me of Endgame.
Yep.
When they were
Thanos.
looking for the stones, it seemed like Bowser has a bigger agenda.
He's
going
tired of
on.
losing
He's
to
not-
Mario.
He seems to be looking for power. So we don't know exactly right now what type of role Peach will be playing. Again, she did not make it to the trailer, so
Nope.
essentially we don't know what we're gonna see of Peach in the movie. She's
And they
obviously
haven't
going to be
given
there.
any other women a
No.
character to play. So I don't know. We'll see
where
how
that
it comes.
goes, and
We'll
we'll
see.
see who shows up, and we will see as from the ending of the movie if it seems like something that's going to continue, because potentially what they're doing is keeping characters
For later
for
movies.
the next one. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm
Yeah.
hoping that Pauline is in Mario's origin with Donkey Kong and stuff like that. And maybe Mario and Pauline were a couple, and maybe they broke up or something happened or something like that. Then Mario's maybe sad middle-aged fat plumber, and then he meets Peach, and maybe they bring her back in part 3, and then like, oh, this is my old girlfriend.
Because
this is my new
Peach,
girlfriend.
because
Oh,
Peach
dang.
would be so desperate to
Find
get
a
with
fat
this
plumber.
fucking fat loser plumber to be with. But
Saves you.
so wrap it up. 9 out of 10 for me. I'm excited, but 9 out of 10. I mean, that's 10 is the highest.
That's
9
very high.
is very high. I'm just that one is just saved for.
Any details that can
Taste.
come out,
Yeah,
you
that-
will not be completely excited.
Like, I
about,
have
so-
doubts in my mind right now.
Yeah.
So that's the 1 point off. Because of the doubts that I have, that's why it's not a 10. But I still, even if that one thing does bring it down a notch for me, it's still going to be a great movie, I think.
Well, because
Just based off
you're
of the
going
trailer.
to understand essentially what they are potentially trying to do. I don't see how they wouldn't bring them out if they are not planning to have more going on. That's just my opinion, especially considering the fact that Donkey Kong could potentially have.
There's actually quite a few female characters in the Kong universe, like Dixie Kong, Candy Kong, and some other Kongs. So I don't know.
Yeah, but the question is, are they going to give any role of significance?
Dixie Kong's
you know what I'm
pretty.
saying?
I think it's like it might be his niece, or is that Dixie's
No.
friend?
What I'm saying is, just because they show up, if they do a scene where it's like, "Oh, I'm a girl in this movie. See you later," and then they go on.
Wow.
That's not going to cut it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
They should have
A significant role in it.
yeah.
I'm hoping that maybe in one of the movies they adapt the Galaxy arc, and maybe they have Rosalina be a big part of it. Maybe they'll start taking fragments from the games, not like adaptation, but fragments of the games, their ideas or story plot lines, and put them in the movies.
Maybe
Like how
one
Sonic-
of
the
the
Sonic
movies
movies have
will
been
take
doing.
place when Mario's taking a nap.
Or what?
Yep.
It's a dream, like part 2 was. It was all a dream.
No,
that
it's
would
just
annoy me.
while he's taking a nap, and the girls are like, "Oh, well, Mario's taking a nap, so let's go crazy."
That would be so cool.
All
I
right.
just looked up the poster and it is just like in that Toad world, you just see Toads. You don't see
Toadette.
Toadettes, like which was an opportunity for them to kind of fill out that whole world.
Yeah, the Toads are kind of like Smurfs, where like they're all boys
I think
except
it's
for
one
Toadette.
Toadette, I think.
Yeah, just one Toadette, but she's not
But
there.
we're talking about what kind of approach are they taking, and essentially just like they do with the Toads, is the first Toad was just that one color. What was it? The red, right?
Yeah.
And then with the blue vest, and they have brought it out like
The
they,
rainbow now.
Yeah, like they
Yes.
could add more
they can
characters.
add if they wanted to, and this was the approach to slightly answer your question about what could potentially be coming based on the poster and seeing that they didn't put Toadettes in there in just like they did with the Toads. Just what you change the color of the mushroom top, right? They could have done that if that's what they were trying to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing stopping them from doing it. If they don't do it, it's because it's a choice. They're choosing not to do it.
Actually,
They're all called Toads, right?
Yeah, they're just Toads.
So then you could have 18 Toadettes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to
That's
be.
what I'm saying. They could have in that poster when you see them all, they could have been a balance.
Put some
of-
girl ones in there.
of Toadette.
I mean, actually, Toadette, fun fact, she's also falls into Waluigi's bracket, not really canon, because she was made literally, remember Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube?
Yeah.
All the characters had a partner. Toadette was created just so Toad could have a partner in that game, so it wouldn't feel imbalanced.
Ow.
Literally.
Ouchie.
And since then, she's just been in party games, side games, and her most significant role was in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, where she was dual protagonist.
No, it wasn't. It was in the Super Mario Deluxe, where you get to play as her BP.
I think that made her canon. I think that's where she became
With a little
canon.
pigtail?
But for the
Yes,
longest time,
I remember. Super cute.
Actually,
Oh,
I forgot
it's so
about that.
sad.
That I think that was that. I think
Can't
that
she
made her
turn
canon.
into the princess?
Yeah,
Or-
Toad
Yeah,
Peach,
that's
which that's creepy when you think about it. Is Peach just a toad that was transformed into that?
Or do Toads have powers beyond what
they're
they normally show? Or does specifically
crown on Toad,
Toadettes?
bam.
Yep, it took that long for Toad to be canon. That's interesting.
Well, again, 9 out of 10. Very
Yeah.
excited. Let's move on.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of Nintendo, on September 30th, Bayonetta for Nintendo Switch was released physically. Now, isn't that exciting? Bayonetta 3 is coming October. That is gonna be a great game. I can feel it in my bones.
That's great for people
Yes.
who are been only on Nintendo. They've missed out on Bayonetta 1. That's what started it all. Bayonetta 1 was a phenomenal game. It really set a high bar for those types of action games. So, as far as the actual Switch having a physical release for it, that's pretty cool. Was it out digitally before?
If you bought Bayonetta 2 in a certain time frame, like I think the year it came out, it would come with like a digital code for the original, and you can play it that way. and I don't know if that you might be able to buy it eShop.
So
Physically is the big one.
It's
Yeah,
literally
it's never
because
been
it's
released
physical.
Yeah, limited release as well.
Got it.
So
So
they're
basically,
doing-
I take back everything
which
I
is
said
sold
because
out
they've been
in
able to
certain
play it for a
places
long time.
already.
It's for collectors.
Yes. So Bayonetta 3 comes out on Friday, October 28th. And
Pretty excited for that.
Oh,
by the way.
that is very cool.
That was a turnaround. The teaser trailer, I was not excited. It looked ugly graphically. It also just looked not great. But then after the next trailer, that one was what made me excited.
The last one, right?
Yeah, the last one they showed.
The last
That was
trailer.
exciting.
What's the thing now with like them coming out with like the final trailer that's actually good, like God of War.
Yeah. Like,
It's
oh,
like,
we
what
were
the
just joking in the beginning.
We were trying to see if you guys will settle for this, but no takers. All right, we'll get back to work and see what we can bring back.
That's wild. But this is gonna be good. This is their right now. So Platinum,
I know.
who makes
They
Bayonetta.
did great stuff.
So they did, but they also make really bad stuff.
You're so bipolar.
So
That's the problem.
right now, they want the Platinum actively wants to be purchased. They put it out there, and they pretty much asked Microsoft to do it.
Really? Take me, Dad.
pretty much. So this is the
Mr.
thing. Like
Spencer,
this
us with you.
game is actually probably gonna be a proof of purchase. You know what I'm saying? Like a
This is what we can do. A resume.
like the stuff that
Let's
they've been
go.
doing lately have sucked. But look, we're still good. Check this out.
See, I wouldn't trust a company like that because this is the type of thing that, like, you know, when you have employees and you're not on them and they're like, I'm just slacking around, and then for a purpose of like an upcoming race or something like that, well, let me do my best. But
Oh,
you
well,
should
they're
always
at
be
their
doing your
best.
best.
They're at their best. They not only Bayonetta, they made Vanquish, Nier Automata, the wonderful,
So-
wonderful 101.
So this is the thing about Platinum. Okay, this is the problem with
That's a
Platinum.
lot of games, by the way.
Yeah. So this is the problem with Platinum, right? They are not financially stable. They don't have any big backers. It's just them. They're a relatively small, company. And even though the games are really good, none of them sell
Great.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? Not like we're rich forever sales.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they sell enough.
Back
So
to the hustle.
what they do is they have different teams. So they have their A team that does the bigger games, Bayonetta, Nier, all those
Yeah.
big games. But they have B teams, and those smaller teams pay the bills because they do all the stupid little games like the Ninja Turtle game. They just get paychecks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this game that Babylon's Fall that they made that's shutting down, that's horrible.
Oh, yeah, it literally shut down.
They make those games just to keep the lights going. So they made that for Square Enix to take their money, but it was never going to be a big game because it was never had the budget of a big game. You know what I'm saying? So, Nintendo.
It was quick money. It's
Odd
quick
jobs.
money. That's
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Nintendo only used them. I'm sorry. Nintendo made Wonderful 101 for Nintendo,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Then after they made that, then they made Bayonetta 2.
That was the only way it was going to get made because they
Yep.
didn't have the money.
Which
So,
Nintendo, see, they couldn't even make it without Nintendo. So Nintendo's the one who's saying, okay, here's this money, you do it. Now,
We'll make it.
the reason they keep them quality is because Nintendo doesn't F around,
Yeah.
right? So Nintendo is all about quality. So that's why they're saying, if you're going to make this game for us, it has to be good. So that's the thing. So they were going to make that game for Xbox Scalebound, which was not it was interesting looking, but I didn't know if it was going to actually happen. But like, they have asked Microsoft to let them make the game, like to go back to make it.
No.
I don't know. Phil Spencer has denied any chance of anything happening, but then just recently somebody asked him, and it went from like, no, it's not going to happen, or like, just forget about it, to we have nothing to announce or nothing to say about that right
That's
now.
suspect.
So
Listen, Phil Spencer's running around buying everything he can find. So if he has not purchased it, it's because he doesn't want it. And at the same time, if you're looking to get bought, this may be your chance to get picked up. So
Imagine if Platinum got bought by
It
Xbox.
is.
All their problems would be solved. They would
That's
be
what
so
it is.
happy.
Because that's the thing that people don't know about these or think about with these acquisitions. These smaller companies who are good, the biggest problem they have is they're hustling. They have to just do what they can. They can't do passion projects. They can't say, I want to make this game because I love it. They have to say, is this game going to sell?
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a hard thing. That's why when Sony buys a company or Xbox, whatever, they get a different support system. You know, they don't have to worry about money. You know, a lot of people Xbox bought, they literally came out and they were like, yeah, we don't have to do that no more. Like, we could just make a game. And, you know, everything that's been coming out so far out of their camp has been really good.
A big example is Psychonauts 2, which, I mean,
Yep.
it would have gotten made. However, it would have not have been even close to what it was. It would have been much smaller, roughly 50% of what we actually got.
Yep,
And
wouldn't
it
have
would
looked so
been nothing
good.
like it was.
All the
without
bosses were
Xbox.
cut. It's a
Yeah.
whole different
The whole
thing.
game. Now, it even got nominated Game of the Year. So thank God that Microsoft swooped in. It was like, we got you, buddy. And they bought him.
Yeah, they're a great studio because they're very creative. They think of crazy
They're like
shit.
the Tim Burton of video games.
They are. He looks like them in my mind.
Actually, I
Every time I think of Tim Burton, I actually think of him because his name is Tim Schafer. Every time Tim Burton comes up, in my mind, I see the other guy.
So every time we watch Nightmare Before Christmas, they're like, hey,
Dude, that was
I
like
know
Psychonauts.
this guy.
It's
Well,
rats.
if I were thinking about the name Tim Burton, he's the
You
face that it
connected
comes
to it.
up first.
Now, a huge congratulations to Xbox because their mini fridge had a baby.
Oh,
Mini fridge.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh,
It's a
boy.
It's
That was
a girl.
That was a nice transition. I like that.
So we know that Xbox had a Target exclusive mini fridge, and this year they released a mini fridge.
You know what that tells you, right? Target
Fridges are on
said
the way.
you're not selling that shit anywhere else.
So they had to make a
So they had to make
one,
an even smaller
and
one, so sell it
other
in
places.
Walmart.
They're under contract.
Yep.
Is it Walmart exclusive?
I don't know if it's exclusive, but Xbox literally linked you to Walmart. So
Yeah.
maybe they're they got
Wait,
their
did
back.
they make it look like an Xbox Series X?
Yeah. No, an X.
No.
Oh.
So
X
now
is
it's almost the
now,
same size as the
next
X now.
fridge is gonna be a mini, and it's gonna be
Fit in your
exclusive
pocket.
to Amazon, and that one is gonna.
It's
be
gonna be an ice tray.
There you. no, that's the fourth one.
Oh, that's the
Fourth
fourth one.
one's
Got it,
Wait, where's
got
our
it.
Xbox Series S grill? You tell me that big black thing isn't a grill?
Oh, you
Smart.
hear that, Xbox? Start making those grills.
Phil,
Spencer, listen
do
to
it,
me,
bro.
Please.
We'll buy it.
I'll burn
Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh man, but Xbox did also have some big news. We've been talking about the whole back and forth with Sony
Yes.
and all that stuff, and one of the big things we talked about was the when Brazil made public the statements from the other companies and how Jim Ryan was out there crying and saying all these things about how bad it's going to be for Xbox to take it. Well, they actually did their approval of the deal. So Brazil officially has approved the merger between, or the purchase of Activision. So this is the thing. They actually went in on everything. Like, they were super detailed of why they're approving it and all this shit.
Well, because they made it so public, now they have to come out and say, these are the reasons why we're taking this route. Or
Yeah.
this was the decision we made. Once
Yeah.
you make something public, you owe it to explain your reasonings for what you've done.
Yep. They do tons of explaining of, like, literally every minutia they explain. Like, they even tell you,
read because it's
technically,
legit.
if they do this,
So,
then this could happen.
furthermore,
this could happen. This could
it is
happen.
important
So that's
to
what
highlight
we
that
had
the
to
central
consider when we
objective
were
of
making this
Cade's
decision.
activity
This is our
is
decision,
the
and then they break down
protection
why
of competition
it happens. But the
as a
one
means
thing I
of
want to read,
promoting the
because
well-being
it's
of
directly
Brazilian
to
consumers.
Sony.
And
In the rest, they
the
actually mentioned
defense
PlayStation
of
many
the
times,
particular
like
interests
basically
of
going at them. But
specific competitors.
this one here,
After all, one cannot lose sight of the fact that the holder of the legal assets protected by the law is the collective, so like the community, the people, and not the competitor or economic agent as an individual entity. In this sense, although it is recognized that part of the users of PlayStation consoles from Sony could decide to migrate to Xbox in the event that Activision Blizzard games, and especially Call of Duty, become exclusive to the Microsoft ecosystem, Cade does not believe that such a possibility presents in itself a risk to competition in the console market as a whole. In view of the foregoing, it is concluded that the present merger is approved without restrictions.
Mic drop.
There we go. See, I love that because they're making it clear that the whole investigation was mostly about the consumer.
Yep.
Okay, they were concerned about the consumer, not about this. These are competitors, right? They're trying. They're all trying to have the same goal, have exclusives.
to compete, to have exclusives.
So that was never what was in question. Yes, this could happen that they will lose customers or
and money.
sales, and
But that's
money,
competition.
But that's the whole point of what they do, right? If not, there wouldn't be competition. So what they made very clear is that this was never about PlayStation keeping their fans or
Their customers, or keeping their customers happy.
Exactly. It was about the people of Brazil and what was best for them in this decision. So
All I envisioned
I
was
think that was
Jim
very
Ryan just sitting there,
necessary to make clear.
mad tears, just sitting there eating licorice, just Twizzlers nonstop. Like, what is happening?
I think that when they wanted to further take action and look into all of this, he saw it as a opportunity to almost appeal to them and have them sympathize. And I understand he went into panic mode, but I believe that he made it seem as if, here, I'm going to throw this pity party and this is going to sway your decision, as if it's not obvious that this is a business decision, just like all the other exclusives that PlayStation has been a business decision.
Absolutely.
And games that are excluded from Xbox and other systems. And this is just the game, and this is what happens. So, by no means was the decision or put on hold or looked into it because in any way this should not be a part of the competition that they have, right?
Yeah, they weren't looking
They
into
weren't
this to protect
looking
you,
into
Sony.
that. And I think that's how they saw it, and they said, let's throw a cry and let's see where this lands.
Dude, but they didn't just like haphazardly do it. I'm telling you, it was like 300 something paragraphs that they went into detail, and they specifically say things like, yeah, if you look at the top 10, Call of Duty is the biggest game for so long. But why is it the biggest game? Because it's on every system. Worst case scenario, Microsoft says this is exclusive, it's only on Xbox. Guess what's not going to be in the top 10? Call of Duty. Because the only reason it's in the top 10 is because it's everywhere. So if they choose to take it off of other systems, they're losing. They're not winning by taking it off of other systems. They're losing. Now, they do say that, yes, they could take that loss because they're saying, okay,
Long
if we have
term.
Call of Duty, people are going to subscribe to Game Pass.
Yes.
People are going to buy our systems.
Exactly.
So it might transfer to more. But they said that that's okay. Like,
Yes.
that's the point.
It's okay for that to happen. That is their decision to make, as I stated from the
Yep.
beginning when this whole thing started. When you look at the short term, yes, why will they miss out on all this money? When you look at the long term, it's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
Especially
for
new
now-
generation.
For now, because we've invested this money, we will finish your contract and give you 3 more years. So business-wise, this is the way that I would see it. Yes, we will give you, that will give us 5 years of having this huge income to pay back
Yep.
for what we spend. And now
Yep,
the long
exactly.
term kicks in, and it is the smart decision to make it exclusive because that will help Game Pass. That will
That's the
bring
smartest
people
thing.
into buying more Xboxes.
I've
So
heard so many people talk about this. And what you just said spelled it out so clearly
Thank
that
you.
makes the most sense of anything. People are rightly saying, which I believe, that they're trying to keep it to the end of the current gen, and then when they come out with a new system, take it away from PlayStation. Like, nope, new systems are out. You want to play Call of Duty? Guess what? One box has it, one box doesn't. Which one you gonna buy? Right? That's what they want. But you putting it in that perspective, it's yes, that's long term, that's the byproduct. Short term, they're saying no, I want to keep it on PlayStation because I gotta make money now.
back.
Then
making the
I'll
money
make
back.
then it'll make sense when I do take it away from you because I already made the bulk of my money back.
Now it's all
And then I'm gonna
profit.
make the real money I want from extra subscriptions and extra stuff when it's only on the system.
Exactly.
They're still going to make money because people are still going to say, because people are still buying systems. We still got years, so people are still buying new systems every day. And people are going to say, I'm going to go to Xbox because they're going to have it in the future. They're going to have the marketing. They're going to have the extra DLC and all that fun stuff like PlayStation has now. So that's already going to happen. So on top of the extra sales and that, come new gen, it'll work. But man, I did not think about it in this context until you said it. But it makes all the sense in the world. They do not want to take it off right now because they're not going to become number
No.
one right now if they take it away.
Nope.
They're just going to lose money.
Exactly.
So they
And
gain the money
invested,
now.
Money comes
Man,
back
that's
in,
so smart.
And long term, the right decision, the right move for them to make is to make it exclusive. Some people will already change systems based on these
Yep.
changes that are happening without them making it exclusive because they figure I spend this much on the system, I will just subscribe to Game Pass and then I will get Call of Duty and a bunch of other games,
Yep.
right? So that is going to gradually happen, which is going to up their sales. Now, when the time comes, that's going to bring it up even more.
Yeah, that's genius. Did not even think about that at all. Great point, too. Great points. Now, Purple Berry, I know that you love Call of Duty. That you go hardcore. You go, I know you play with your slime, make your videos, and then you say, you know what? Time to load up the M16 and bring it to the streets of Call of Duty because I'm taking fools down. So, how are you going to be affected if the deal with Xbox goes through and they own Call of Duty?
It's gonna be a very heartbreaking moment.
I feel you. I feel you.
No, you phrase this very hilarious. However, I must say that Purple Berry over here is so gangster.
She is.
And she is, I've seen her play Call of Duty, and she's freaking badass.
She plays
Actually,
Fortnite a lot.
any game that
She's
she
good at
picks
anything
up,
that she does.
she just is, that's it. That's what she does. She's good at it,
She's a
period. No matter what. So it was just really funny the way you phrased that. But
Yes, but I like to play together.
You do.
I don't like playing by myself.
You like co-op.
Mhm.
That's fine.
For Shazam.
Oh, yes.
Also, now that we're just because we said co-op, I know you guys are against it, but they do have modes that can lower it down.
Lower it down. Wait,
Grounded.
oh, there you go.
Grounded came out with the 1.0. That's the bug game in the backyard when you're shrunk down. I would love to get a group together to do some grounded gameplay.
Let's see how that goes.
That
This-
may be fun.
The spiders, you could actually literally turn them.
There's that
You could,
Anarchobia mode.
yeah, they turn into
Yeah,
little
you
balls
turn
of
into
nothing,
little
like
bubbles.
floating balls. You don't even see what they
yeah,
are.
they try to. It's a real phobia. So basically, what they do is that they could look realistic. However, there's a mode. You turn it on. They look like Roblox characters, literally. Like the little
That's-
robots, like, with their, like the
that's really
smiley
cool and
face
very
and all that.
thoughtful.
Oh,
Nope.
So,
okay.
like, they look silly.
Yeah.
So it was on preview for a long time. I played it when it first came out, then I stopped. But it just released the 1.0 version. Just came out, so they're completely, their vision of the game is out. They're gonna keep building on it, but it's out, and it's getting crazy. It got 9 from IGN. Like it had a 6 from IGN when it was in preview.
Oh wow. Okay. That's
It was
a big
it's
jump.
actually Ryan McCaffrey from the Unlocked said that he thinks that that's one of the biggest jumps they've ever made from preview to release of a game. So
Remember they were looking at it upside down.
no,
Oh
Oh my
Definitely not.
God,
Definitely
that's
not.
so
Right.
that would be
funny.
funny though. That would be funny. Everybody's talking. Everybody's talking about it, and everybody keeps saying how great it is in co-op. I haven't played it in co-op. I've only played single player. I like it a lot. It's actually very freaking addicting. Like you can just kind of get lost into building your house, decorating it, do it. Like you have to go out there and cut the trees, the grass to get the leaves to build your walls and
Animal Crossing ripoff.
yeah, but
Or did they read the Three Little Pigs?
yeah.
And then,
No, it's
and
Honey, I
they
Shrunk
said,
the
What
Kids.
do we
with
get?
size.
Sticks, rocks, or hay?
all the above. It's all there.
Yo.
We're the
it-
fourth little pig.
Honestly, Grounded sounds basically like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but outside.
That's what
What?
it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. There's a story and everything. It's really cool.
Nice.
I really like it. Graphically, it's stunning. Like stunning.
That's
No.
Power of Obsidian for you.
I think you're trying to get a commitment from us. So I'm just gonna do this. And hey, Cupheads.
No. Hold on. Wait. Let me do one more thing. Let me say one more thing.
Go ahead.
The reason I was leading to this, and I was gonna curve into this, is that we do have some other video series that we will be introducing to the channel.
That is true.
And one of said series will be a gameplay focused series where we play some games together. And
Alright.
Grounded might be one of those games.
Alright.
You know what I'm
That sounds
saying?
good. Wait
That
and
sounds
see.
good. We'll see.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So that's my last.
Alright, that's fine.
That was just a sneak peek.
Nice.
Just a
So
little.
what Doodle was saying is that the game Cuphead is getting a physical release
Ooh,
and is finally on
sorry.
the way for Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch, including the delicious Last Course DLC. So, to put it in perspective, Studio MDHR have been wanting to have a release for a while for the game, ever since it came out. However, it took a while because, they're not the most biggest company out there, or studio out there. So now, they finally made that a reality. And they haven't set a release date, but it's coming out very soon. So that's
I am very happy to hear this. Cuphead head is so unique. It
It is.
reminds me of the old school Mickey Mouse
Mhm.
a little bit. The animation,
Yeah, I adore
And-
the art style.
right?
It's like, it's not like how, it's got a funny coat of paint. It's literally, they took a pen, paper, made it exactly how it would, like how they did with the old Fleischer cartoons from back in the day, or Disney cartoons.
Exactly.
And they made it just like that. And that's what gives it its charm, makes it stand out.
I love it, and I'm so excited that they're growing essentially because
Yeah, this thing blew up, man. The Netflix show is.
The Netflix
Oh,
show took it to a new
amazing.
height.
the Netflix show
and
is great.
They're already 2 seasons in.
Now
With the third season probably on the way.
the cool thing about the gameplay is when you're playing, it's not an easy game to play.
Oh
So
my
hard.
gosh.
you have to really want to play it
Yep.
to get this done. Now, it is literally humiliating that they grade you. I think that's the hardest part to accept. That
For real.
when you're done, is you get a D or a C or a B. Like
I was like, dude,
it's
just,
like-
I'd just be happy I
I'm
passed
ready.
it, bro.
Yes, just
Like,
give me a B for passing.
College.
Jesus.
Like, we're good. Don't let me know of all the things I'm gonna miss out on if I don't do it at a certain level too.
The
Like,
47
let's just
try
keep that on
later.
the hush.
Yes!
We all know
Did it!
I'm barely getting through this, so don't tell me about all the other challenges or where I should be beating this.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, you could go on an easy mode, which basically just lets you go on a killing spree, but you don't get to progress because you don't get the
Exactly.
contracts. And then there's the normal way, the
But
way
let's-
the men play it.
Let's walk back the idea of the easy mode though, because from my understanding, when we did the easy mode, we were still getting our ass handed
I
to
know,
us,
that's what
yo.
I'm saying.
But then there's a hard
This
mode.
shit was
the normal
crazy.
mode.
You guys and you, I have like you guys are really good at it.
Yeah, we did pretty good.
I haven't even tried.
I guess
Oh,
we
never
know
have I
what.
ever.
Oh, another series. Let's plug it in.
Another video.
Dude.
That was
Doodles.
just a tease. That was just a
Never have I
tease.
ever.
Go ahead,
Doodles.
say it. Okay.
Never have I ever
Cuphead.
played ... It's gonna be a new series where Miss Doodle
Hey, hey,
streams, plays some games,
hey. That I've never
That
played
she's
before.
never played.
Same.
so we
And
can
see how I
we
like
can see how she
them,
reacts
see-
to them. See if they'll if she'll
Bite.
ever want to play it again.
Oh, I'm very specific with this stuff. It's either
Oh, yeah.
a no or
Well, yours
like
says yes.
yes.
That's wow.
Specific.
Cuphead shouldn't have succeeded. It's incredible how it succeeded. Cuphead obviously has a very cartoonish look. It could have been super easy to market to kids. But try handing that controller to a little child. They'll have a flip out. They won't do it. They can't do it. But to a grown
they
person,
could.
I would walk that back a little bit, man. When you go, if anything, I learned with
The
little
younger
kids.
you are, the more determined
Dude,
you are.
I
the
go.
more
You go on a
time
Call of
you
Duty. They
have.
got little 13-year-olds, 10-year-olds, like 6-year-olds. Like they kick your ass, man, because they sit there and they play it over and over again.
That's the
Guess what? If
thing.
you hand a kid, you gotta remember. Let's go back in time. Games were hard.
Yes.
oh yeah, NES.
When we were young, Mario was a nightmare.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Well,
Didn't stop
2, 3.
us.
Didn't stop us. We played it nonstop forever.
There was no save.
Oh my
the
god.
third
You
one was
just-
actually had saved.
The
But,
third one.
However, you only saved the world.
I'm talking OG.
Yeah, the original.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't beat the game in that one sitting, it was over.
It was over.
Mario 2
Or left
was
it
annoying.
paused. Just always until you played it
Never
again.
stopped us because kids are resilient.
Yeah,
And
man.
if you give them a video game like that, they're gonna sit there, they're gonna have the time to play it for however long they need to play it and beat the game. And it just these things that it's put in front of us and it kind of adapts who we end up being, how we turn out to be, right?
Absolutely.
We've said it before, and it's great to live in this time where technology has evolved so much and video games are such a big part, and graphics have come so far, because I can remember the first Mario and where Nintendo is right now and all these other systems, and it's insane.
Yeah, it blows my
how-
mind.
How progressive.
Like you look at Mario 1 and then Mario Odyssey. Come on, dude. That's like
Night and day.
never would I. Dude, I would never. You showed me that when I was a kid. I'd never believe that shit.
Exactly.
There's no way. I'd be like, what? That's impossible.
It's fantastic to be able to see it.
Like that game. Like games now look better than the CG movies that we had. Like Toy Story 1.
Oh, yeah.
Like the games that we have now are better.
Better looking in Toy Story 1.
Like the Kingdom Hearts 3 had scenes
From the movies. Well, not from the movies,
No, but like
recreating
that
them.
look just like the newest. Not the 4, but like 3. Toy Story 3 at least.
Yeah.
It was up to that level. Toy Story 4, that's
Gorgeous movie.
that is the next echelon of graphics. But the point is that's coming too, man.
Yeah, PS6.
We're getting there. If we just imagine where we came in a short amount of time, it's only been, 36 years?
Well,
That's
when was
it.
the first video game? I think the 50s is when they were introduced.
No, but I'm talking about Mario.
The
Mario
multi-video
1.
game.
Oh,
80
40 years, I believe.
85. 83 technically in Japan, but 85 here. So
Okay.
83
Yeah,
technically.
So you
because
figure
They
83.
said they were celebrating 40 years of Mario.
Yeah, so 40 years of Mario. Well, that's because they probably count
Oh,
the Donkey Kong
13,
version of him.
23.
But even still, you take those graphics, 40 years from then to now, night and day, crazy advancement. And most of that advancement came in the last, since PlayStation 2?
Not
So,
decade.
20 something years. 20.
Yeah, so like
Last
20
two
years.
decades.
So the last 2 decades has been the biggest leap. And now we're already at the point where they make games that look almost photorealistic. So what's the next 10 years of game going to look like?
That was scary.
Like,
They
it's
are
crazy.
realistic. Like, they are.
Dude, you seen Callisto Protocol?
I've seen little clips of it.
The trailer? Have you seen the
It's a
Callisto
beautiful
Protocol?
game.
I have not.
I gotta put it on for you. The character looks like you're controlling
Human.
a human person playing the
Just
game.
walking around.
Like in the world of creatures to kill and zombies and shit. No, not zombies, but the monsters on the
It's like,
ship.
it's like a Dead Space.
Oh my god, did you see the Dead Space 1 remake
Yeah.
trailer?
I think so.
They released the new
Oh,
trailer.
new trailer. I saw the teaser.
Oh my god. Dead Space 1, it looks so good. Just as good as Callisto Protocol. They showed like side-by-side pictures from
Yeah.
the first Dead Space. Oh my god, it's so
So
different.
here's a question: is this a remake? Meaning I bring this one to a new
Remake.
light? Oh, so it's not like a requel where it's like a sequel, but it's not like a remake.
No, it's a remake, meaning they're doing the whole movie, the whole game, but they're re-envisioning things that make it better.
Yeah.
They're not held by the original 100%.
So they're not remastering.
Not remasters.
It-
It's like Resident Evil 2.
Recreated. Two.
Like it's a
That's what
it's
I
a
was gonna
remake.
ask you. Is it like Resident Evil?
Yeah,
Because
Resident
those-
Evil remake.
Resident Evil 2 is
Those,
super impressive.
Yeah, they look really good.
If you guys see Resident
Yeah.
Evil 2, it's the best
Well,
Resident Evil.
I'll show you guys. I'll put it on so you
Yeah.
can see.
And 3 was not bad at all. It was really good, but it does reuse a lot from part 2 assets wise, stuff like that, which I guess is cost effective.
Well, this
It's
generation,
shorter.
it's the next generation. They already that generation hardware is still being like Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 8.
Oh my, Cypher 4. 4 is gonna be good.
All the
When is
remake.
that coming out?
Resident Evil 4 is like January. I don't
January.
know the exact date.
I wonder how they're gonna do it. I mean, we've seen, but I still want to see more. I hope it's more
Resident
than
Evil
what
4
they
is an
showed.
absolute classic. It's one of the greatest games of all time, and I've
Never
never
beat
beaten
it.
it. Really?
Never be.
No.
I never got out of
Well,
the church, out of
I
the
bet you're
town.
going to now. You love those games.
Oh yeah.
So you're
I
gonna
beat
have
2
a
and
good
3
time.
remake and 7 Biohazard and what do you call it?
You
Resident Evil-
started.
I'm really sporadic, and I beat Resident Evil 5 on the PC. I did do that, and I think Resident Evil. I don't know.
I beat all the
Revelations.
new ones. So I beat 7, the remake 2, remake 3, and 8.
You beat 8.
Yeah, I beat 8.
Okay.
Very good.
Very
Interesting.
nice.
Interesting. Was it better than 7?
7, 8 is a great game. 7, I think the setting
It's creepy.
was scary. Like being in that house with
The
those
7 was
crazy
kinda
people
creepy.
and all that. Like that was
It
scary.
was like that little creepy girl
8,
around the
8 was scary. I mean, 8 was good. It was really good. Like as a game, it was probably better. But as the setting and the environment,
Mhm.
7 was
And
crazy.
7 had a big impact because
It was the first time going to first person.
Yeah, that was a big one, which some people didn't like, but I think it was a good change. It made it scarier. It made it look like it's coming at you.
And I like this duality. New games, first person. Remakes
Third person.
and remasters, third person.
They did confirm Resident Evil 9 will move on from Ethan, meaning that the protagonist from 7 and 8.
No,
they're moving on
the
from-
story's over.
Yeah. I don't
Or, I
say
mean-
anything, I didn't read it.
The story's over. I mean, I guess if they really... Well, technically, there's not story's over because there's a DLC that's
Yeah.
going to be the girl, the
Oh.
daughter.
thanks for telling me that.
It's a DLC. It's announced.
Well, yeah, I thought that was just Ethan. They said it was third person mode for Ethan, and they keep showing a clip of the girl. I'm like, oh my god. So, yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's the girl.
You
It's
didn't
the
know,
daughter.
You didn't see
No,
it.
because
Okay.
I didn't play it.
So that I'm
Alright, so thanks for
listen, I got you back.
yeah.
I got your
Apparently,
Got your back.
he'll tell you all
That I
the
want.
unknown.
I gotta wait for that to come out, and then I'll be done with it.
Okay. Good.
We'll see.
And maybe I'll get it back. Yeah.
Listen, it was sitting there. It was sitting there. But yeah, so I don't even remember what led us down this road. Remasters. We started talking about Dead Space. Yeah, I don't know.
Cuphead.
Do we have any other topics?
We do. There's some little things here and there. It's like kind of like a small thing that it's because of its cultural impact and how it's kind of a shock. The Phantom of the Opera closes on Broadway after more than 20 years of enchanting audiences in February of 2023.
When did it open? You just said 20 years?
1980s.
Did you just say it was 20 years?
20 something years, yeah, hold on. 2000, hold on. Maybe it was 1990s, hold on.
I thought he just said the year. I just didn't hear it. Like how long after so many years?
Oh, 1986.
Oh wow.
Gosh darn.
Wow, that's
a very
wild.
long time.
Now, it might have taken 20 because I think it wasn't brought to Broadway immediately. I think it was like a stage show at first, and then it might wait Broadway. But it was going. It's the longest running Broadway show, I'm pretty sure.
What happened to Cats?
Oh, Cats was long, but I think it might have beaten it, or it might have. I might be wrong. Let me see. Longest running Broadway show.
Phantom of the Opera was really sleepy for me.
Yeah.
Put that bad boy on, and it's like,
Nope.
let's go to sleep.
Nope.
Yep.
But it might be one of those things that in person, with the organs and the
Atmosphere
feeling and all this stuff.
Yes, you get caught up in the moment. I don't want to figure that out.
No.
Oh,
So-
I have to. I said 20 years. I meant 35 years and 13,749 performances.
Wow.
Same cast.
One guy. No. Here's the thing. Actually,
I don't think so.
no. It was only last year that the final cast member who was there the entire time finally left. And this year, they're starting to...
What role did he play?
I think he was the Phantom or something like that.
Oh, because it's a mask.
Okay.
He could turn really ugly one day. And it's like, but no one will see it. Yeah, I don't know. That's huge because have you ever seen Phantom of the Opera?
They made it into a movie.
A film. Yeah.
I thought.
Or-
No, thank you.
Was it bad?
Pass.
Broadway is an interesting thing. You have to be the kind of person that likes it, you know? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, there's a lot of Broadway shows out there that are, like, super popular. Like Cats, as you mentioned, Wicked, Rent, Hamilton. Like, you know, there's a lot of them that
Aladdin.
exist.
There was only
Aladdin,
one that I heard.
Right? Hamilton. Hamilton is a goodie. I'm so thank goodness that they decided to record the Hamilton live with the original cast.
1,000%.
That was
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine missing out on that?
Yeah.
I don't know why they should just do that, dude.
Now they
You
don't
know-
do that a lot.
But they
Why?
should.
Why don't they do that? Do you know,
Well, it's
like,
very expensive because
to
it's-
record it?
Get your iPhone out, bro. Just fucking, just boop boop.
Well, that's poor quality. You got to count audio too, because
But they are already mic'd for audio.
but it might not translate well into a phone. You ever record someone at like your school performance and they got a microphone and then they sound like
No, you don't take the recording audio. You take the microphone audio. And they have good mics. They're not like high school auditorium mics.
I do
Okay.
not think that should be an excuse. That
No,
it's
make it
expensive
work.
For the amount of money that they will make back, and for the amount of money that people pay for these tickets, it's just ridiculous not to record.
Yeah,
these
and
things.
do it years after. Not when it's like record it when it's first popping, but then release it years after.
Yes.
Because you don't want they want people to go to Broadway, right? They want people to go. So
I would have loved, but they need to vault it, right? They need to record it, vault it with the
That's what I'm
original
saying.
cast, the people that actually
Yep.
made the cut the first time. I would have loved to have seen In the Heights recorded
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
when
I
he
didn't
was
get to
doing
go
it.
and
Oh,
see
and the Heights
that.
is never recorded.
Mhm.
Because-
So it changed. The adaptation into the movie changed what the play was. It wasn't recorded from a play perspective, point of view, or whatever.
Because, it's impossible to watch it literally unless Lin-Manuel decides, you know what, we're gonna get a gang back together. Other than that,
I don't think that will happen. And considering how amazing Hamilton was, I would have loved to have seen him in The Heights. That would have been pretty amazing.
You can still listen to the soundtrack.
I'm sure it's recorded. It's just probably not recorded in a quality way to go ahead and put it out on TV.
Yeah, the practice of recording the Broadway show has been an art that's been practiced over the years. Mainly, yeah, it happened occasionally. There was like a Broadway show called Peter Pan that was recorded and stuff like that. They've done little things here and there, but still, not using Peter Pan.
Who could have ever had the desire to see that?
Can we not miss out on Peter Pan once again, please?
Yeah, they've done instances of recording, but it was never a huge thing until the first major time where they made a recording, brought it to theaters, and actually marketed it and made a big deal out of it, was when Rent's final performance was recorded, and they brought it to theaters and gave it a whole run and marketed it and stuff like that. That was the first big instance of recording the Broadway show.
Okay, so see, there's a way, right? Somebody bought this stuff that it's necessary to record this. Go run around, rent it out, say we're going to record it. Just sending it to the theaters will be a plenty stack amount of money if it's a good play. And then
that's the
if
question.
It's a good play, that's the thing.
That's the question. Are there any plays that are TV worthy?
The Lion King. Seeing The Lion
never
King.
Recorded Lion King.
Spider-Man, I heard, is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah,
so they've definitely been recorded because there's commercials
Mhm.
for them. And in the commercials, it shows
You see clips
of the play. So all these things have been recorded. It's just whether or not they will. They're probably not good enough, or they don't. Maybe it's just they don't want to, which is stupid.
Like Hamilton, they recorded little footages here and there to promote it, and I think they did PBS little documentary minute thing, making Hamilton or something like that. And they used little clips of it early on. But what I'm saying is that they they use the better recordings that would actually look really good. They get the nice cameras. Because when you watch Hamilton on TV, that's obviously there was a budget put towards it to make it sound really good.
Don't forget that it has to be a smooth show. Normally, something always goes wrong. Something happens.
Hamilton was definitely shot with multiple shots because there's a scene where Angelica's singing and she is not wearing a rose, and the camera keeps turning and she's wearing a rose, and then the camera keeps turning and she's not wearing no rose.
That's a perfect example of how many. So I guess the money also goes into the editing because obviously, like I said before, one show, so much can go wrong, so many little details. So they probably need a few recordings to edit it smoothly into one perfect. It has to look perfect, as if it went seamlessly.
Yeah, they've had incidents that even the cast came out about. Like I think Aaron Burr or something like that. He was like walking on stage, right, and then he got scared. He was like, "Oh shit!" Or something like that. And I think there was like another one. I can't remember. There's another one in particular. Oh, Lin-Manuel. He was singing the song "Right Hand Man," and then he was like, he started slurring his words to think about something else. Not by yet. Like he just said that or something like that. Never on stage. And yeah, and then there was the worst of them all, where Liza, Felipe Sua's Liza, she it's her song "Burn." He just cheated and stuff like that. And then she was kind of getting ready to sing it. She spaced out, completely forgot the whole song. And then they were all just basically like, we have technical difficulties hitting a microphone and being like, it's alright, this is normal and stuff like that, basically. And
See, but that's the thing, right? You think about that and you say, okay, well that's normal. Everyone sometimes spaces out. Sometimes you have an off day. But when you are paying for these tickets and the amount of money that you're paying for these tickets, it's like, listen, this is not the time for you to space out. Do not pull me out of the illusion of this whole thing you've got going on over here, this whole play. And that's why, at the end of the day, as magical as a play can be, because it is live, anything can pull you out of it. And we go back to the movies, right? It's edited. It's the way they want us to see it. It's like, okay, so I rather watch the play. I mean, although you'll never get that type of, it's like going to a concert, but then listening to music on the radio as it was recorded, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm saying, there's good to both, okay?
Got it.
All right?
Point made
Yes.
and taken.
Disney World, you want to go to Disney World, not see it on TV, right? Because that's a whole different feeling. Although
Yes.
you might get stuck at the airport and have to wait for a delay on your
Or you're
plane
at
ride.
Disney World and it rains every day
Yes.
while you're there.
And then, ooh.
Magic is
Although,
gone.
after that first bit of rain, and you're like, oh, it's raining, and it's raining, and it's raining, right? And then when it's just steaming hot, and you're like, please, give me some rain. So, Broadway?
Yeah. Okay, very good. So Phantom Opera's over. Dead. 58
Goodbye.
years.
Not gonna miss it.
Recording.
Don't care. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The most recent one of the filmed Broadways that have been released to the public was Heather's the Musical for the original cast. It was released last month in September.
Was what?
Heather's the Musical? was
What?
Heather's the Musical.
Okay.
Right.
So that gives you all the information we need to know about continuing
Yes,
this
I have no
topic.
idea.
Great one. Phantom of the Opera, over 36
Anybody
years.
cares that it's gone?
No!
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
sure it's good, but I just don't.
Okay,
All right,
so
It's not.
anything else that's on the docket?
Well, we have some funny things here and there. Let's see. Let's get your interest back up. 5 new CD Projekt RED games have been confirmed.
Ooh,
That sparks my
3 new
interest.
Witcher
It does.
Sirius, Polaris,
It does.
Incanus, Majoris. 1 new Cyberpunk game, Orion, and a brand new IP codenamed Hadar or Hadar, whatever. So, any thoughts?
So 3 Witcher's games, 1 Cyberpunk game, 1 new IP.
Cyberpunk's a sequel, and Witcher, one of them is the beginning of a new trilogy, while Polaris is a side game, obviously Projekt RED, and I think the other one is another side game, but it is made with support from CD Projekt RED, but it's probably gonna be made by someone else.
No, so Molasses Flood is making 1, the new studio they bought. They have a partner studio that's worked on Witcher in the past, but is not part of their studio, who's going to make another Witcher game that they're going to be overseeing. And then they got the new trilogy of Witcher games being started, that's made by them. And then you have a new Cyberpunk game. It doesn't say the sequel when you read it, but it's assumed to be the sequel. It's a new Cyberpunk project. And then there's a new IP completely that's barely just started last year.
Is it based on anything?
No, it's a new IP. It's the first time ever that they've made their own IP. Because Witcher, they didn't make that. That was a book. Cyberpunk is Cyberpunk. So this is their first new IP.
That's pretty fire, if you ask me.
So at the end of the day, the excitement for me is that 1, Cyberpunk got screwed from its launch. Now everybody's high on it, and they actually see how good the game is because the show got everybody into it. So I'm glad that happened, but I feel like, you know, a Cyberpunk 2 will be like a big banger because they'll learn from all their mistakes. It'll be next gen only, so their dreams and ideas can go even further and have nothing to stop it. So I'm so pumped for Cyberpunk. But the biggest one,
It's the
new
IP.
trilogy for Witcher, baby. I'm so pumped. I don't know how they're going to do it. Are they going to let Geralt get back? I know they had said that Geralt's story is over, but maybe it could be like Gears of War, where
Yes.
Geralt is not the playable character. It doesn't have to be a son. It could be Ciri. Right? So Ciri is now the new character. Well, it's kind of his
bonding.
yeah. But it could be Ciri who you play as, and he's just in the thing like as a old, like his old person was in there. Remember the guy his mentor
Yes.
was in the thing, so he could be the mentor now,
To her.
and we can move on and have a
a new storyline with her as the lead.
Yes, the crazy thing is that you get attached to these characters, but as their story plays out, especially on a game, this type of game where there's so much depth into their relationships with others, and it's kind of like after a while it has to wrap up, and we have to find the link of who else meant something to do a smooth transition. Like you mentioned, Gears of War passed down to his kid. And that went pretty smooth. That was great. That was after having Marcus being such a lead and such a face to this game. It was a little bit of a let's see what's coming, because that was a huge change. But as you play the game, it kind of just smoothly goes on, and you don't necessarily miss it. Like when they try to shift the attention from Master Chief on Halo 5. And that did not go well. That was not taken well by anyone. But I believe that because he is the guy in the armor, he does have this relationship with Cortana. There are not other characters that we sympathize because they are robotic. It's hard to sympathize, right? So you get attached to this story, and you kind of don't have anybody to feel that way about in that game.
Like intent.
That is in depth like that. And I mean, the great thing that they have is that, like I mentioned, is robotic, and there's no reason to like Marcus was aging. Yeah. You know, so his time had passed. And it was time for someone new to come in. So I do have to say that from the Netflix series, I do love these characters. So, if in the game, the Witcher game, they gave Ciri that type of attention, I wouldn't mind that being that transition. Yeah. Because in the show, you do, when she does come in and they show more of their relationship and show who she is and how he's mentoring her, you kind of want to see what else is to come from her character.
Yes. And like, spoiler, you do play as her a little bit in the third one at the end or towards the end.
So that may have been a little tease of what they could potentially be leading to. Maybe because these things don't come out of nowhere. Essentially, they have to have a plan way before.
Well, I think they were done with the trilogy because they thought that Cyberpunk was going to be blown up right from the get-go, so they were like, we're going to be doing Cyberpunk for the next 15 years.
Cyberpunk is very different from The Witcher. It's not something that you sit there and you say, well, now that we have this one, let's let this one go.
Well, they have a size
and the ways to continue with such a big franchise, especially after The Witcher was picked up and made into a show.
That's what triggered it.
The show has success.
That's what triggered it.
Then essentially you can't say this I'm gonna drop.
That's what it is. So they didn't have the show when they finished The Witcher 3. So to them, they were just transitioning to the new series that was gonna take all their time and energy because they figured we got the most out of The Witcher. Then they did the series, and remember, the series of shows have not really translated to people like going crazy.
Yeah, usually it's kind of like a meh.
Yeah, but The Witcher was the first one that people were like, oh my god. And then The Witcher started going back into the top 10 charts because people were pumped to watch it and be a part of the game and everything. So so that changed their output. We're like, okay, well, we should continue that story, right? Continue The Witcher. But they, as a studio, they weren't big enough to have multiple big projects. But that's why they bought that other studio, and they grew. They have 1,000 employees now. They didn't have that many before. So remember, they're from Poland, and basically they're essentially almost owned by the state. Like, they're super, like, the state gives them so much to keep them in Poland. Like, that's the biggest thing that comes out of Poland is CD Projekt Red. For the entertainment purposes, you know, that people know. Like, there's not many Polish movies that are out here or anything, right? That's the one. So that game is the biggest thing that they have. So
Isn't it crazy that both of their big games have been successfully picked up by Netflix and have been doing phenomenally?
That's
and
the
put a
quality.
new light into their video games.
That
It
shows
has
you the
after
quality
sales.
of them.
Mhm.
The fact that they can make a world, make characters, make ideas that translate. Now, obviously, again, let's take it for a second that they didn't create the Witcher world because that was a book already.
Yeah.
They didn't create Cyberpunk because it's a
That was
tabletop.
also-
It's a table.
That was an adaptation?
Yeah,
Yes,
Cyber-
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a
There's
tabletop
It's a
game.
tabletop RPG
Yeah, right?
a long time
So,
ago.
but this is the thing though. They still crafted those individual stories
Mhm.
in that world in particular. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still their stories that they are making in there. Like Night City, like Jackie and all that stuff. That's their story.
So they
in
took
that
the
world.
essence of something and made it into what their vision of it could be.
Exactly.
I mean, it still takes creativity and
Absolutely.
a lot
And
of,
and
like,
skill to make it good.
Exactly. I mean, it could arguably be harder to create something from something that's already created and make it your own and make your own branch that's unique and accepted than
Yep.
it is to come sometimes from something that is coming from scratch. So,
Yep.
and that had to be a big struggle with the Halo series, because I know they've talked a lot about trying to do this like for a long time and it never came through. And I think they did so well. When you are speaking of characters from like Cyberpunk or The Witcher, you're talking about a lot of interaction, where when for Halo, it's a lot more about going and finishing the mission, right? It's a lot more of an action game. So that had to be much more harder to portray and make people, obviously with him wearing the helmet, kind of sympathize with these characters, right? Not to
Yeah.
mention how expensive it is to...
Yeah, it cost
Put that
$9
all
million,
together.
which was blown to shame after Amazon spent $7 billion on Lord
Not
of the
seven.
Rings. $1 billion, right? Oh, $1 billion. Okay, even I went overestimating them, but yeah. $1
They
billion bucks
spent
on
the
Lord of the
population.
Rings. I spent it cost every
Yeah.
human on the planet, but that's fine.
And it cost them $1 million an episode
Mhm.
to make
So
that
it was the whole
episode.
series, the whole season.
But that's not 100% what it cost them, because they had, before the episodes, you still got a lot of stuff to do.
Yes, well, the hardest thing has to be getting it going and creating parts of the world. Once you have like the costumes and certain things set up, you kind of go back to those things. The first initial expense is what's probably the hardest to say, okay, we are going to invest in this and see and deal with whatever costs come next,
Yeah.
you know? But
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm so happy. So many. It's kind of like merging these like whole movies and video games and book adaptations, and it's really cool to be able to get these shows that are so good.
That's the thing. When they're good, it works out really good.
What was the movie we just saw with the kid from that Apple TV show?
Mr.
Defending Jacob?
Yes.
Mr. Hannigan's phone.
Yes, that is a book adaptation as
Is
well. Yes, that's from a book. That is a Netflix film, and we watched it. I enjoyed it.
It was very good.
Oh man, it had my attention throughout. I'm not into like scary movies and stuff like that, but it was like thrilling, almost like suspense, and you didn't know what was happening or where it was gonna go. It had my attention throughout, and I enjoyed it.
And like you mentioned, Defending Jacob, you mentioned that's actually
Yes.
based off book as well.
Oh, I did not
It's
know
work of
that.
fiction, though. So yeah.
Holy crap.
It was a good show.
That's it. Everything takes from everything. You know, that's the whole thing. They find inspiration, and sometimes it's direct inspiration where they're literally taking that book and turning it into a show. A lot of times people just read a book and then make a whole story that's similar to the book, just not the book, so they don't
Yes.
have to pay for the credit.
Netflix is investing. I remember when it was like the beginning of them investing into like stand-ups and turning these things into shows, and now they're just picking everything up. Like,
Yeah, well, 'cause
Netflix
they have
has
to.
it all. It goes from books to games to real life events that happen, and they're turning it into a show. It's a lot. That's great. Good for them.
Absolutely.
That's fire.
Absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
speaking of Netflix is also making their own Pinocchio. We watched the Pinocchio movie, the remake
That is
Jump from Disney,
from
which
Disney
was
Plus.
amazing.
Yes.
well.
It was. Did you say it was amazing?
For me, it was amazing.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Well,
I didn't hear that
actually
much.
wrote my opinion. If you all would like to,
Definitely not. Definitely not
I
happening.
worked so
I
hard.
would
on
like
It's not coming
to
out
hear
ever.
Bits of it. Go
Definitely not.
Pinocchio, a
Well,
remake.
Not
No,
Tell
see?
me.
That's why I
Yes,
said
see?
no. It's not happening. It's not happening.
I'll cut
That's
to the second half.
no, not half.
Pinocchio's
Let him-
more.
let
One
him-
line.
Sorry,
Pick
fine.
one line from here
Go
that
ahead.
want
What
to
do
sum
you
it up.
think after
Alright.
you-
There's about 8,000
Okay,
people
here,
with
how about
lines
one
over there.
Pinocchio 2022 is one of the most decisive yet perplexing Disney remakes yet. The end.
Okay. Well, I
Thanks.
was underwhelmed. I felt like, okay, it's the same thing. There we
Actually,
go.
I feel they toned down a lot. That's what I was afraid of Pinocchio.
They made it
You
more
look at-
digestible to today's world.
Yeah, but
versus
Pleasure
the crap
Island
that
was
was
way
happening.
freakier in the movie, the original. Like, way.
Well, yes, and all the smoking and,
And
all that
drinking
other stuff
and all
were
that stuff.
cut out,
It
which
was also
is
took place at
great.
nighttime, which added to the atmosphere.
But it's also just, I don't know. It didn't, for me, I felt like, okay, so I watched this thing again. It wasn't special. It wasn't something I'm going to sit there and be like, okay, let me watch it again. I'm not a big Tom Hanks fan.
What?
Yes.
You should not say that in public.
He's
You should
Woody.
not.
Woody.
You should
I
not
like-
say
I
that
like
in the
Woody.
streets.
I like Buzz better than Woody.
Wilson! Come on, man. Cast
Don't
away.
you just want to pound on his face when you see
Definitely
it?
not.
No? Okay, that's just me.
Definitely
I
not.
may not be a smart man.
Forrest
I know
Gump.
I love this. Yeah.
Green,
am
the
not.
Green Mile. Come on, man. Tom
No.
Hanks
No,
is a
thank
national
you.
treasure.
No, thank
You're locking
you.
him in a vault.
John Travolta. is-
Grease?
Yes, from Grease.
Yeah, but he's like.
Nicolas Cage.
But see, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage both went super high, and now whatever they make, nobody gives a crap. Tom Hanks went up and stood up.
Tom
His-
Hanks have put his claws into Disney, and essentially, aside from like, I mean, he did Woody, and then that guy with the neighborhood,
Mr. Rogers.
That was in Disney. I
No,
thought it
that
was
was-
Disney.
No, they don't own Mr. Rogers.
Huh? I didn't know that. And then now he's Pinocchio's Geppetto.
Pinocchio's beautiful.
I don't know. There's something about his face and
His ugly face.
thank you.
Well,
No, I don't know.
He's not
It's
horrific.
just-
looks doesn't
I
have anything
just
to do with your
don't
acting ability.
know, but if you can't get essentially past the little things that maybe you dislike about an actor, you can't enjoy their films. And I've seen a lot of his films. I'm just like, ugh, okay, you again. Here we
Mm.
go.
Wow.
It's like that call that you get, and you're like, oh, you're going to voicemail. No, thank
Wow.
you. Pass.
Well, I don't know. I really like the Pinocchio. There was a good and the bad about it. I think one of the big things, the Pinocchio doesn't do anything wrong. He actually goes to school. He does all the things he's supposed to, like a good boy. But when he's locked in a cage, he lies, but he uses that to help him instead of trying to be a disadvantage to him to show him not to lie. He kept lying to help himself. And then he was like, no, wait, I take it all back. Oh, look at that Shrek. Perfect timing. Like, I don't know. I think there was good to be in it. Like, I did like how they added more story to Geppetto, losing his son and his wife. That gave a little more.
Oh, that
Depth
was
to it.
so
That
sad.
gave more depth to
That
the reason
was
why he wanted
that
to.
was sad. Yes, I didn't know from the original that was the reason why he was trying to make.
Yeah, the original,
Into,
they
like,
never really
a real
stated
boy.
it or glossed it over.
And me not necessarily liking what's his name again?
Tom
Um,
Hanks.
He did act well. He did have that whole situation with his losing his son, you saw the pain in his eyes where sometimes
he's a good actor, even if you like him or not.
he's a good actor. I just don't necessarily like him. But it was well played. The character was well played.
So just to be clear, you don't like Tom Hanks.
No.
But you loved his character.
No, I didn't. I
and
never said I loved his
I'm
character.
just saying.
It's Chris Pratt.
Yes, Chris Pratt all over again.
Except you don't like it. Except you don't like it.
No, I didn't say that he didn't act right. He did bring the character, gave it a great standing ovation, acting, blah blah blah. You don't like him. But aside from that, the movie was still underwhelming for me. Now, the Netflix movie of Pinocchio, I did see the preview.
Oh my gosh.
And for me, it looks phenomenal. I cannot wait to see it. As soon as it's made by Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo.
Guillermo del Toro.
No. Guillermo.
Guillermo del Toro.
Let's get it right.
Guillermo.
I don't know.
Guillermo
I
del
Pinocchio
Toro.
on Disney. I like that one. However, Netflix version looks so much more creative. It looks very out of the box. It looks like a Night for Christmas movie.
Yes, that's what I was getting.
It's
to.
got that creepy
That's
vibe.
the first thing I thought about. It has those, like, that animation look. It intrigues me to see what they're gonna do with that world.
Now, there's been countless adaptations of Pinocchio. They all try to go for that cutesy vibe.
Yes.
Oh! But yeah, this
Like,
time
if
they're
we-
trying to do something different.
If we think about it, he's made out of wood. It's like, right? They chopped up a tree to make him. So it has its, like when Woody was gonna be a puppet. You guys remember that they were gonna make Woody into a puppet? Exactly.
Yes.
So they're giving it like that gritty, like
The
type
mature
of
vibe.
look.
Well,
But it
listen,
didn't already.
it's Guillermo del Toro, so he has a specific
He does
art
have-
style that he likes to do, and he likes
Hey,
weird
hey,
things.
hey, Guillermo.
That's what I said, Guillermo.
Yeah.
So he has a specific, flair that he has. Listen, the Disney one took an old movie that you couldn't really watch today and brought it to no, you can't watch
That's
it
right.
in this society the same way. That's why they have to put the warnings on it, because you don't want kids watching the smoking, you don't want kids watching the drinking,
To be fair,
And
the
all
whole
this
movie's
stuff.
about don't do that, kids.
but it doesn't
But
matter.
you
Kids don't
also don't
understand
want
that. They
kids to
glorify
see
it
that.
by seeing
Yes.
it. It doesn't matter that they're saying it. It's what they see that matters. So they took it and they made it where it's, now you can put it on. If you want your kid to watch Pinocchio, you got an avenue to watch it. It's cute. They did a good job with it. This one is taking it and almost reimagining, and it's not reimagining Pinocchio, it's reimagining it from the original source, because again, Pinocchio is not Disney made.
It was made from novel.
It's made from the novel. So they went and they are going back to the source and then completely forgetting Disney's version of it, and he's just taking what he saw and he read and putting his spin on it. And I think it's going to be phenomenal. Graphically, it looks really, really good. It looks so interesting. It's weird that when you are so close to seeing two stories that are the same, like
Be so
be
different
talked about, and
and
it's so
be
different, and you're equally
portrayed,
excited for
and
something.
yes.
It's pretty cool.
No
Yeah,
one
there
said equally. I said I'm super excited for this
There
one. Not so.
We already know that you're
I
a
was
Tom
not.
fangirl. Okay? You already admitted it, so let's stop.
2022 was an interesting year. 3 Pinocchio movies were released, or one's about to release, and I think that this Netflix one might be the best one out of the bunch. So, I think that I'm excited. Even though I did like the Disney Plus one, I do think that it's intriguing to see how this one goes.
Yes, sir. All right. Anything else on the docket?
Well, we got another interesting one that caught me off guard. Bleach, the 1,000-Year War, very popular series and comic. Yeah, the streaming rights have officially been bought out by Disney and will stream on Hulu in the United States and Z Plus internationally. Now, obviously, I'm not the biggest Bleach fan out there, but it was still interesting news. Here's a synopsis of the series in case you guys want to know what it's about. The series Bleach is based on the manga of the same name and follows the adventures of a male teenager, Ichigo Kurosaki, who inherits his parents' destiny after he obtains the powers of the Soul Reaper, a death personification similar to the Grim Reaper, from another Soul Reaper, Rukia Kuchi.
Huh. I'm intrigued. I heard that and I'm like, okay.
Now it's
Well,
not
this
like
is,
bigger.
but this is why it getting bought by Disney is good, because when it comes out, we'll see it and see if we like it. The nice thing about this is that Disney's diversifying. They know
Yes,
that they know that Netflix is getting a hold on these anime shows, and they know that there's some people who want to see those shows, so they're not going to Disney Plus if that's what they want to see, because that's not really their forte. But they made a big move with this one. They got a relatively big name in Bleach that they're going to start with, and let's see if people watch it. I'm sure they'll be out there looking with their wallets to go buy some more big name,
Yeah, they already
anime.
did Star Wars Visions, which took a lot of Japanese studios and had them work stuff like that. And that was a big success for them. Even one of them was nominated an Oscar. So
Yeah, but to be clear, no one considers that an anime. Like, that's not in the.
people don't watch it because, oh boy, it's anime. Oh
That's
boy, it's
what
Star
I'm saying.
Wars.
It's Star Wars. That's the only reason that it was anything.
But,
So
true, yeah.
that's the difference. So they need to, if they want to get into that game, they need to be able to actually have, they're going to have content that anime fans care about. And the only way you're going to do that, you can't make it. You can't make that because people already care about certain things. So not that new animes can't be made, but what I'm saying is, like, you're not going to get successful because you decide to make one, right? That's a gamble.
I mean,
Best bet is to just buy some known ones and then build your own, because people are there for anime already, and then you have an audience to sell a new one to. If you just make a new one when anime fans are not subscribed to Disney Plus, then it's going to fail because nobody cares.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
this should pull in.
Yeah, Disney already bought the rights. They're definitely adamant about it. They bought the rights to 4 different anime series. Right now they're airing in Japan, but they're going to bring it to Disney Plus soon.
Good. Now, if I can just make a request and Disney Plus make an update to your app, okay? There is a button missing. You guys don't have a fast forward button, okay? It's 10 seconds at the time, which is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And then the other thing that I have a humongous problem with is I mentioned Netflix and how after a certain amount of episodes, they ask if you're still watching. Okay, at least they give you a certain amount of episodes. When we're speaking of this Disney Plus app, you press on what you want to see, and instead of just playing it, they want you to press every single time. This is ridiculous. What am I supposed to do? Like, I lose my cell phone while I'm using my cell phone. Okay? So I'm literally looking for my phone while I'm on my phone, like, and forget that, oh, well, if I'm speaking on my phone, I must have it on me. But what do they want you to do? Like, tape your freaking remote around your body and, like, no, I shouldn't have to press it. If I clicked on what I want to watch, just play it for me. I will stop it when I need to stop it. Or I will deal with the electricity bill, whatever the heck my choices are. If I'm paying for your app, I should be able to just watch without feeling like I'm in the freaking 1980s.
Was it streaming in the 1980s?
Or when you had to get up and turn the...
A long time ago.
That was like the
Yeah,
50s.
Long time ago.
Long time ago, yes. So that's just like ridiculous.
Yep.
I should not be aware of my remote is if I pick something to watch and I just want to sit down and relax.
Classic Disney.
Agreed.
Classic Disney.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
one update, we need it. Dancing with the Stars has been playing on Disney Plus. It seems like the approach they're taking is theme night. They did an Elvis night. They did a 007 night, James Bond. And this Monday, they're going to have a Disney Plus night. So we'll see. I can only assume that that's going to have the High School Musical, maybe the Mandalorian. Who knows? I know that
A
they're not calling
Mandalorian dance.
they're
This
not
is going to
calling
be
it-
exciting.
Mandalorian.
like they're not calling it Disney night, how they used to
Night.
do. Yes, how they used to do before.
They're calling it Disney
They're
Plus.
probably gonna do
so
dances
it's
based on Disney
probably-
Plus properties.
Exactly.
Get ready for the Pinocchio dance.
Which means that they're probably gonna do like a Disney night and for Halloween, like Disney villains. Yes. So, I mean, I guess they're trying to do something a little bit different
Which is a good thing.
because now it's exclusive to Disney Plus.
Yeah, why not promote their own stuff? Imagine a Dancing with the Stars dance.
This
Series now.
is a Dancing with the Stars theme night.
Well, I mean, the nice thing is they kept the quality, right?
Yes.
They translated well. They didn't lose a step, so it's good.
It's not like
It's
they made
good
it
that they-
worse. So-
No.
It's good that they're out there bringing more things to Disney Plus. The only way they're going to keep it growing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have to keep fighting. That's the nice thing about it. It's competition, right? That's why the same thing with PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. There has to be competition for them to push each other. And
For them to grow.
yeah, but that's what these streams are doing. You know, they're all competing for your attention and your dollar. So, all right. Well, Bleach, Dancing with the Stars, Disney Plus.
The
Nice.
flame is
What
fire.
else we got going on?
One more little topic, and then we're out of here. Masahiro Sakurai, the guy who created Kirby and the developer of Super Smash Bros. Franchise, has officially started a brand new YouTube channel called Masahiro Sakurai on Creating Games. It's very interesting. Talks about frame rate, how he actually made the games, what the development process is. You might find it pretty interesting. And he has earned a silver play button already for hitting 100,000 subscribers.
That's fantastic. You know, there's a lot of people behind the scenes and that make these things, and it's kind of cool to connect and hear what they have to say about their experience. I know that from Smallville, Lex Luthor, Michael Rosenberg, I think.
Rosenberg.
Yes, he has a
Rosenbaum.
yes, he has
Rosenbaum.
he has a podcast, and now he got together with Tom Wellington, and what they're doing is
Tom Wellings?
Tom Wellings. What I say?
Wellington?
All right, all
Beef
right,
Wellington.
all right. Beef
From
Wellington.
Gordon
Oh,
Ramsay.
that will be delicious right now. But they are watching right from the beginning the show. So episode 1, and mind you, this show Smallville ran for 10 seasons, and it was back in the day when it wasn't 7 to 9 episodes a season. It was 23 to 26 episodes, just like Friends used to be, except that this was a 1-hour show, minus the
Holy
commercials, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. But they are watching the episode, and as they're watching, they are giving their opinion on the episode, and they're speaking of kind of like behind the scenes and what they felt and what went on as the episode plays.
Well, they got a fun road ahead of them.
So
10
yes,
seasons.
it's a lot of episodes, but I think that's a cool idea. So
Well, it's good for actors who are coming up to see things like that because they get to see what the mindset is of the actors doing these plays. Just like this guy, you know, with his YouTube channel, showing you the way he makes games or the way he made them and talks about that
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm really
But at the
happy for
same
it.
time, I mean, realistically speaking, it's like you want to hear from somebody that you want to aspire to. And just to be frank, and you know, that's just what it is. I don't think anybody's aspiring to make Kirby.
Well,
like-
he also did Smash Bros. Which is one of the biggest.
But
video games in the
even
world.
Smash Brothers, it's like that's not an aspiration. There's no new person making a game saying, "How do I make my own Smash Brothers?"
Multiverses.
No, that's not a young person coming up. That's
Oh, young
established. I'm talking.
Oh.
WB is not subscribed
Oh, I
to
know
him. You know what I'm saying?
Subscribed to
Studios are not subscribed to him. It's
listen, it is cool if you are interested in that. However, I understand what you're saying. The world we live in, the access that we have to things, the fact that you could just Google anything and get answers. It's not a world where we're trying to figure out how that was done. We're hear the experience of someone else, although there is things to be learned from that. I think we live in a world that you could just Google or look up how to if you are interested in doing that type of thing. I mean, we are still in a place where we can use mentoring from the people that have done it before, but this is not a one-on-one, here, take me under your wing and mentor me and show me the way. This is essentially somebody speaking of their experience.
But in this day and age, because you have so much access they have the ability to go back to GDC. They can see many different people who made games, successful games. That's right. There's so many successful people that they talk about AI and how they made the AI work in their game, which is the reality, right? People, the young people who are making games are playing a game and like, oh my God, it's so cool. I want to make something like this. And they get to learn from the games that people are actually playing. Watch those people who make those games and how to grow from that.
Yeah, there are video games that allow you to make video games.
Like
Yes.
Dreams is a big
There's
example.
yes, they made one in Dreams. Did you see it? Where they
What
put
one?
side to side Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, that was
the
crazy.
scene, and they were like, "Look,
That's
this was
wild.
back
But
when."
that's
and the
talent.
fact that through a
That's to
game,
show
you're
you.
able
I
to
made a
do
game on
this.
Dreams. That was pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah, but we're talking like
I know.
that was they did a
Yeah,
That's
and they
cool.
recreated
See,
the
and
scene.
Yeah,
you're
you were
able to
making
have
the shoot.
access.
See,
Yeah.
but they have, dude, you can go on
Dude,
Unreal 5. You can download it for free. Unreal Engine 5. You have a whole game engine, access to everything. You can make a game right now. Like people, that's why so many people are making games, because you could download like
Really?
everything. You can go, they bought Quick Scan or Mega Scan or whatever. Quixel, I think their name is. Unreal and Epic bought them. So in Unreal Engine 5, there's a catalog of all material. So like a tree, rocks, all that stuff, 3D. You just, oh, I like that tree. Click it, boom, it's downloaded, and you have the tree. You make 50 of them. You could
See,
get
do
rocks,
you
put them on the
remember-
floor,
do
and
you
really,
remember-
and
I
high
think it was-
quality.
I think it was Far Cry when this all started. It was the game, and you were able to make
Far Cry, yeah,
Yes.
that you can make a map.
And
That
it
was
was
wild.
so exciting that you can grab these things and make a
Yep.
map that you can play in and
Yeah, I
play
think it was Far
online.
Cry 2 or
That's
I
crazy.
don't remember one,
And
maybe
then
3.
you think of that and the abilities that you have and the access that you have to things now, like the things you're speaking of. But that was thrilling and exciting to the idea. And then Little Big Planet came out with that you can make a board too. In their there was another mode where you can make a
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, there was a lot of these things, but those are contained, right?
Mhm.
So you could only make
can
something
only make
in
so
that
much.
game
Yes, like
or in that
Mario
world.
You
But
can
now
do
it's like so easy to make a game. Like, can you imagine? Like, that's what I wanted to do when I was younger, was make games, but it was too much. But now you could just do it right now. Go
But
on your
this
laptop,
gives
download
you-
it, boom, you
when
have
you
access.
have a game like that, it gives you the ability to see before you spend money, how like real money, if you actually would enjoy putting these worlds together,
Mhm.
right? Just a little taste, a more easier version, and then see if you actually
Dude,
enjoy this.
Dude, Unreal has. They make it so easy. They already have templates. So you can go and say third person shooter. And you can immediately play their third person shooter. It's just gray box. There's no detail in anything, but you have a character. You can move, run, jump, do everything. So all you have to do is make a character, like an art
Mhm.
of character, import it there. You have a movable person that you have. The world, they have the Matrix, the game
Yeah, I
that
know
they
it's
did.
a demo.
That city is there. You can make a game in that city. You could just move buildings, change them, do all the stuff. It's already done for
Are
you.
you sure about that?
I'm super sure.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Like, one of the things people were saying is they're afraid that a lot of Unreal Engine 5 games are going to look the same because people are using all the same assets. But you have the ability to do it. It's just whether you want to do it, right? Whether you put energy into doing it.
Wait, so is this gonna be like these games can't get released on Xbox or PlayStation then?
Of course they can.
Oh wow.
If you actually make it. I mean, you're not going to put a little thing together and it's like, oh, look, I shot somebody. Can I put this game on Xbox, please? No, that's not how it goes, right? You can't do that. It has to be an actual game. But
You can't do what?
You can't like make a little like course where you just shoot a.
you
enemy.
can't shoot somebody and be like, oh, I could just get on Xbox right now, please. Yeah, no, that's not how it works.
Can let me rephrase.
It can't just be on Xbox right now, please. Pew 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 pew. No, definitely not.
All right.
So,
I'll
but
top of my laptop right now.
yeah, but it is worth messing around with because you can actually create something right now in a very short amount of time and see if you like the process of making. And you can script and put storyline. You can do a text story if you want, however you want. It's really, really cool stuff.
Well, that's fascinating.
Yes.
And anybody who wants to try it out, check it out.
Yes.
Also, we're gonna be putting together a few new things that we're very excited about. Doodles, Never Have I Ever.
Yep, we said that.
We're gonna be
Never
working
have
on
I ever
that.
played.
Never
Dot,
have
dot,
I
dot.
ever played. And we're gonna try new games. MADMAN gameplay.
Yes, well, Madman plays.
Yes.
So gameplay of fun content.
And Real Talk with C Money and Doodle.
That's right.
It's gonna be, we're very thrilled, excited, and I think this was fun.
Yeah. This is a Madman Podcast, everyone. Don't forget it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Mario
Peace.
Kart Madman. Out!